The team that drama never ends, the Philadelphia Eagles. Welcome aboard. Week 5 of the National Football League already, man. We were just talking, Xander and I. Week 6 of college football this weekend. And tonight, week 5 starts. It's 49ers and Rams. Obviously, it is Broncos and Eagles on Sunday. Things are starting to shape up on what teams are starting to look a little bit more like the teams we think that could be contenders and not pretenders once you get into the month of October. And, of course, you have the drama that's going on between A.J. Brown and the Philadelphia Eagles or the media people, whatever. And, I'm going to ask you something out of the gate here. And I heard Xander say this, and I heard it say it yesterday, and I've heard a lot of people say it. So A.J. Brown has shown leadership, right? With going public with his comments. And in some way, it might help the team. Well, let me ask you this. Am I to believe that A.J. Brown is more of a competitor than Lane Johnson or Jordan Mailata or Jalen Hurts? Why does his fucking feelings supersede those other players' feelings? They compete just as hard as he does. They want to win just as much as he does. Why do I have to give a shit about his feelings more than my own feelings or the other team's feelings? Why? Because he posted it on X? You tell me why that is more important than Jordan Mailata's emotions and how he wants to win. Explain that to me, how I'm supposed to go like this. AJ's showing leadership. Okay? Maybe. But what do I give a fuck about his feelings? When I'm also blocking in that offensive line. When I'm also in that huddle with the rest of the people and the other 10 guys that want to compete. Why are his feelings fucking more important than mine? They're not? Okay. Well, at least I'm sitting here as a group with the other guys, and I respect the other guys because they compete as much. Just as AJ doesn't compete any harder than Devontae Smith. Why in the world does that have to have a leadership tag on it? He's the only one going public. He's the only one apologizing too. Those other players don't have to apologize for competing. He's got to apologize for what? Showing a lack of character? Maybe. I don't know. However you want to categorize it. His feelings don't matter more than the other guys on the team. How in the world does his feelings matter more than Jalen Hurts's or Devontae Smith's or Saquon Barkley's? Your frustrations, that's one thing. You wanting the football, hey, Jordan Mailata wants to make every fucking block. I don't subscribe to that. He doesn't want to compete any more than me. And yet we're sitting here talking about that guy's feelings. Fuck your feelings, guy. I don't give a shit about him. Go play. So you felt so much so that you had to get your feelings out that you weren't getting the football, that you were frustrated, and you wanted to hide behind the cloak of, hey, I just want to compete. Well, so do the other guys. So do the other guys. They compete just as hard. Bro, you're not any more of a competitor than Jordan Mailata or Lane Johnson or Cam Jurgens or anybody in that huddle. That's bullshit, man. But yet he goes public and he's a centerpiece in this. And he made himself the topic of a conversation. Am I right? I mean, I sat back and I've been watching all this. And by the way, I guess AJ and Seth got into it. I'm trying to figure out if that thing's real or not. And I saw that Hugh Douglas was commenting on it over on IP. And if they're commenting on it and making sound bites on it, obviously, this is not going away. And for the record, this is not new news. Him being upset with shit. Seriously, man, this is like taking care of a 5-year-old. I don't give a fuck about this guy's attitude. Why do I have to care about him and his feelings? I'm trying to win a football game. Hey, is everything going great with the Eagles right now in their offense? No, it's not. But shouldn't you keep that shit in house? Hell, according to the coaches say we have an open dialogue with him all the time. If we have an open door policy, he can come in anytime he wants. Isn't this more about Team AJ? I mean, ask yourself this again. By the way, I think the guy's a decent dude. I don't think he's a douchebag. I think the guy does things his own way and his way, and he thinks that's the right way. There's a lot of guys like that in the league. There's a lot of guys like that you meet all the time. But dude, enough. Your fucking feelings don't supersede the rest of the locker room. I think the Eagles actually go over and above to coddle this guy. I think they go over and above. Am I wrong? You know, they're trying to, and you know, I give Bob Lang a ton of shit here. But maybe what they're trying to do here is, you know, they're trying to settle the waters here because they're trying to make sure this thing doesn't blow up and A.J. Brown doesn't blow up. I don't know, man. I mean, because I'll tell you what, I'm getting fucking sick of it. I think everybody else is. Dude, that guy's going to talk himself off that football team. Here, let's go here. I mean, him competing, and he just wants the ball and he wants to compete? Bro, so does everybody else. Your feelings do not supersede mine. Dan, your voice is like an alarm clock nobody asked for. Sharp and loud, but that's why we love you. Negativity makes football talk feel alive and worth tuning in for every day. Much respect. Negativity? So you think it's negative, Caesar, for me to go like this? I don't give a shit what your fucking personal feelings are. This is about a team concept, and this is what, again, and I appreciate the super, my friend. Thank you. This again, I just want to win ball games. That's all I'm asking here. I got to sit and worry about some guy's personal and his personal feelings. Who gives a fuck about your personal feelings? Sills just heard a crazy stat. Eagles are the only the second team to ever be outgained in all 4 games and have a record of 4-0. Yeah, we brought that up the other day. It's insane. Sills, let me ask you, are you okay with mediocrity? Why would you settle for that if that was would you settle for that if that was your Miami team? Dude, I got banned from the University of Miami while Al Golden was the head coach because everybody was settling. Settling? No. My point, wait a minute here. Are you under the impression because A.J. Brown posted something on X that he is the only guy in that huddle that wants to have perfection and want to be great? Just because you post something on X doesn't make you a fucking leader. What's the leadership? Apologizing after? Walking it back? What's the leadership? Tell me what the leadership is. Putting it out there for us to read? Well, let me get this right. The Eagle players don't know what's wrong, but AJ wanted you to know what was wrong. Is that what you're saying? My problem with this today is, hey man, you don't compete any harder than Mulata. You're not anybody special compared to those guys. Don't tell me that you're competing harder than me because you post something on X. That's fucking stupid. Nobody in their right mind in that huddle and in that locker room would believe that. You just want to put the star on you. Now, I said this, mission accomplished. It is mission accomplished. He got what he wanted to be said about the offense out. It's funny. I don't hear anybody else in that team talking like that because they wanted to keep that in the locker room. AJ didn't. That's leadership. Okay. So he felt it compelled and important for you to know what was going on. Sills, we're going to learn a lot about AJ this week with Surtain cover him. I don't foresee a lot of catches for him. Hey, man, everyone in here thinks it's a blowout. Anybody you talk to, the Broncos are going to get blown out this week. 38-10, stuff like that. Everyone is like, hey, the Broncos are getting blown out this week. They have no chance. I miss the AJ from 22 and 23 who actually got open. That's because the offense was tailored to him. Now it's not. Guys, that's the entire problem here. The entire problem is the offense is not tailored to him. The offense is tailored to Barkley. End of story. And it's as simple as that. It's nothing more than that. It's tailored to Barkley. You know how we know this? You know how we know this? You keep running the fucking guy in the A gap and they're flooded. And you keep doing it because you're hoping that he's going to break one. My guy Sills, how are you, my friend? Get this. You notice one thing? There ain't no fucking drama on that defensive side. There's no collapse coming. No way, because of this guy right here. Because of Vic Fangio. Ace, no way. No way. It's going to be a 17-14 type of game with these offenses. Are you under the impression the problems have been corrected? Sills, with the injuries to Lane Johnson, you think it's time to start thinking about his replacement in the next couple of years in the draft? Yeah, I do. Yes. The best player for the position is the best. Did Dick Vermeil say this? The best player for the position isn't always the best player for the team, regardless of his performance. Dick Vermeil. That is A+ true. That is right on. I'm sure with that comment, Coach Vermeil didn't think too highly of AJ. If that's something that Coach Vermeil said, that's exactly right. Because you have the best player at that position and the best player on your team, that doesn't always make him the best teammate. Hey, T.O. It's like you. It's the delivery some people appreciate and some don't. He spoke up for his teammates, and I respect it. And now show it on the field. Okay, Abe, my problem is this, okay? You have people dissecting it, saying that it's leadership. Well, dude, his fucking posting it on X doesn't make him any more of a competitor than anybody else in that locker room. And the number one thing that people, I think, pretty much universally agree, that, get this, his approach was flawed in how he went about it. Well, if the approach is flawed, him wanting to compete is no different than anybody else in that locker room. I don't know how people tie that in. What, because he posted something? He let all of you know what was going on? And then he backwalked it. I don't know what to believe out of you, dude. And by the way, this isn't new. This is shit that's been going on for a bit now. Ever since Saquon Barkley took the reins of this team after the bye, A.J. Brown has never been the same when it comes to keeping his mouth shut. Is that fair? By the way, I'm not really dogging on him. I'm dogging how we're covering this thing here a little bit. Right? AJ's never been the same since Barkley and the team went in that direction. If you guys remember, I swear to God, I remember after that bye, I came out the next day, that Monday, and I said this to all of you. Do you think Saquon Barkley's changing the fundamental ways on how they're going to approach on how to win games? I didn't think it'd go to this extreme. And it has. It has totally gone to this extreme. AJ spoke up for him, not his teammates. Yeah, if I'm in that locker room, you're not speaking up for me. Okay? Are you under the impression that the teammates don't talk to their coaches and going, Coach, don't you think it'd be best? Let me tell you something. When you're in a team meeting room or you're in a position meeting room, that's where dialogue goes back and forth on how to build the game plan. This is not a dictatorship where when you're putting a game plan or a strategy together, what, you don't think Vic talks to his position coaches? What do your guys think? If guys think this, that, the offensive line doesn't look that hot, they have 2 tight splits, so they want to really try to get in 3 techniques and see if they could beat these guys because they don't think their feet are very good. You don't think there's conversations that go on like that? They go on every day. Okay? Hey, by the way, how the fuck would you know, Reyes, how they talk in a meeting? All you could do is sit back and watch TV and watch Madden. Can't blame him for wanting to have both a Hall of Fame resume and the rings. I'm not blaming him for anything. I'm not blaming him for anything. I'm asking you how we're covering this. A.J. Brown, more of a competitor than Jordan Mailata, is a joke. Seals, this is not about competition. He needs the stats to set up his final contract. A.J. is focused on A.J. The team is trying to avoid another TO in the driveway moment. Hey, look, that's actually a great point. Next contract, next negotiations in this offense, that guy's not a $30 million player. A.J. Brown's not getting $30 million. You already got people like Howard Eskin and others talking that the guy may have lost a step. He ain't lost a step. The offense doesn't throw the ball to him. He's not getting $30 million. A.J. Brown right now is not considered one of the best receivers in the National Football League. And that's what's bugging him too. But I think he is. But as I told you guys, he's gauged on numbers. People go like this to me. Jamar Chase is the best wide receiver in football. And he's on one of the shittiest teams in football. Right there in a nutshell, all that stuff that you talk about having a ring, it doesn't matter. Jamar Chase is thought of as the best player at his position. And he's on the Bengals. And he's on the Bengals. A.J. Brown is tired of being second fiddle to a dominant running back. That's what I think it is too. Listen, I said it. The offense does not run through him. It runs through Hurts and Saquon and then him. And Bengals should have drafted Penei Sewell. Probably so, for Joe Burrow's sake. Okay, listen, laughing my ass off on quarterbacks and coaches that are lesser than the ones we have. AJ's still a top. Nobody looks at that like right now. That's ridiculous. Okay? He needs to quit being insecure about it. I should have read the end here, Reyes. That back end, you're right. That's totally right. Reyes is right. He's insecure. He's right. You have a winning team, you have a winning environment, and his insecurities are getting the best of it. You're right. Reyes. That's right. This back end in here, he needs to quit being insecure. He's dead on. This is an insecurity thing with him. He thinks people look at him now not being the best receiver in the game. And many do now. If you put a top tier list together of wide receivers in the NFL, nobody's going to put the 61st wide receiver in pro football right now today in a top 10. Nobody's going to. A.J. Brown, a big player? Absolutely. He's an enormous player. Personally, I think he's the best receiver in the game. It'd be great if he thought that. Look at this. 7 catches, 109 yards in 2 quarters. I'm not sure what you're talking about. Nobody's disputing his ability, dude. They're disputing the approach. What's your point? What's your point? I don't know what your point is. So he's really great. I know. If he's so great, RC3, why don't they fucking use him? Please explain why the coaches have to dumb down the offense for Hurts, who you said is the smartest quarterback in the league. Not being disrespectful. Great question, Gary. He is smart. Jalen is a better ad-libbing quarterback than he is a technical quarterback. He's not very technically sound. He's limited in the pocket. He's limited in his throws. But when you put him in a limited offense, he excels. Because he has another tool in the toolbox that he makes great in-game decisions when he has to take off and run to move the sticks. I did. I heard the press conference, and it was a lawyer's answer, and it was I thought I heard Howie talking. I saw that differently than others. And people are going to go, well, Hurts is different. Okay, I know. And that's why Hurts in public, when he speaks about his team or his coach, it sounds fucked up. It does. I can't tell if he's backing his coaches or his players like ever. Unless he directly says it, I can't tell. Hurts is a freestyle artist. Absolutely. He's being held. No, he's not. How can he be held back when he's 20-1? How is he held back? You're expecting Jalen Hurts to run a more complex offense, and he will never. But he'll be 20-1. What would you rather have? A more complex offense? You're telling me they're holding him back? How are they holding him back when he's 20-1? You're not getting the point here, folks. Do you know what the point is? They got a limited offense for the quarterback for a reason. Because the quarterback is limited, and the things that they limit him to do, he's a winner. And you know what it is? It comes down where people can't accept it. They just can't accept it. Dude, Dak's a better passer from the pocket. Dak is asked to do more. Dak can do more. Dak makes the stupid mistakes that Baker Mayfield makes. That's where I say he's smarter. Jalen's not going to throw the interception. Dak and Mayfield will. There lies the difference. Completely different. I'm fine with the win, Sills. I just think they could air the ball out more. Okay, you know what everybody reverts back to? They revert back to 22. And you know what they forget to do? They forget to add Shane into that mix. You had a competent play caller with the player skill set. You have not matched up an offensive coordinator to fit your quarterback's skill set since 22. You think there's any coincidence to that? Brian Johnson was the wrong coordinator. to some extent. Maybe if they kept him longer, he would have evolved also with Jalen. But they didn't want to keep him. They didn't want to do that. Kellen Moore was complete polar opposite of what Jalen Hurts needed. That was what the organization, think about it. Is this fair to say? And this goes into AJ. Kellen Moore is everything that the organization wanted in a coordinator. Why? They wanted the offense to go through Barkley. Right? If they wanted the offense to go through AJ, they would have had a passing attack. Am I right? And then them elevating Kevin Patullo. Elevating Kevin Patullo, told you they were going to do the same thing. Dude, Kevin Patullo got that job because they weren't going to deviate. 2024 was a singular season. 21 and 23 and 25 so far isn't anything like it. Nothing remotely close to it. Okay? Look at this guy. Big Sills, the delusional, is back at his double speak again. Ridiculous. What are we double speaking here? I'm not. Bro, have some context, fuck bag. I don't even know what the fuck you're talking about. Go back to sleep, dickhead. Sills, on a serious note, how do you think Howie feels if he's paying millions and they don't use them? They are using them. He's a decoy. He is using them. He is. Sills, AJ is the perfect wide receiver. Yes. Yes. That wasn't Kellen Moore's real offense. Correct. They ran the ball. He's not a run dominant. He's thrown the ball 46 times with Spencer Adler. He's not fucking a run guy. He was not a run guy when he was in Dallas. Look what Steichen is doing with Danny Dimes. Do you think there's any coincidence? Hey, let me ask you this. This is a great take here, Jason. So Jalen Hurts had his best season as a dual-threat quarterback with Shane Steichen. Danny Dimes, who's a dual-threat quarterback, is having his best season as a quarterback. The wrong guy's the head coach. The wrong guy is in Indy. The best coach that they have had for Jalen Hurts is in Indy. Am I wrong? Look what he did with Gardner Minshew. Didn't Gardner Minshew make a Pro Bowl as a Colts quarterback? I thought he made a Pro Bowl. Get this, wrong? I'm talking about the quarterback development, douchebag. Oh, by the way, yeah, I'm sure, right. Kellen Moore, he got away from Philly and he went back to being a passing coordinator. Yeah, okay, right. They don't want Hurts running too much of the RPOs. Well, that limits them. Guess who Herbert's coordinator was his rookie year? It was Shane Steichen. He won the Rookie of the Year. Is that true? So wait a minute. Shane Steichen was the Chargers coordinator when Justin Herbert won the Rookie of the Year award. Jalen Hurts was a runner-up to the MVP in 22. And Shane Steichen has now taken Danny Dimes and put him in an MVP conversation. Is that fucking right? Holy cow. Best coach they've had for Jalen Hurts is in Indianapolis. And they've never had one since that was better. Hurts is winning ball games. You know why? Because he's great. Actually, we had a a moving of the guests. So we're just going to do Xander today, JD3. Tomorrow, Mark Schlereth is going to be with us at 3:30. So Schlereth was going to be on today. Stink. We got him tomorrow. And then I got a text back from Doug Peterson. He had to move his time. So it'll be 3:30 on Tuesday of next week. So tomorrow will be Stink. We'll probably do Mike North again, Big Z, and on Tuesday, Doug Peterson, the former head coach of the Philadelphia Eagles, will be with us at 3:30. We're really looking forward to that too. So we had to move. I don't know. I'm hoping that Jason gets back with me on that because I'd like to know who he is going to vote for. So if we happen to get him, we'll see if we're able to connect. I know that he has meetings all day with the NFL, and he's got meetings with the National Football League and the Hall of Fame. So, guys, do me a favor. Please hit the like button. Colts beat the Broncos with 300 yards from Dimes and 125 yards from Taylor on the ground. I don't think the Broncos D is as good as advertised. Well, I don't really think your offense is as good as advertised. So, I mean, Ray, you're going off of a year ago. Try to stick to what we're doing now. I'm not saying, Ray, everybody in here on my network and in Philadelphia believes that this is going to be a blowout on Sunday. I'm not so sure of that. I haven't seen any signs that the Eagles could blow anybody out right now. I mean, personally, I'll make this point to you. Hey, Anthony, I don't think the Rams are that far off from you on being the best team in the NFC. I think the Rams are right there. You didn't do anything to make me think that you're better than them. You beat them? Yes, sir. But I don't know. I think the Rams are right there. I think the only reason that I would lean Eagles is because you've beaten them and you've won the Super Bowl and you kind of have their number. It's the only reason I'd lean Eagles. But that Rams team's right with you. And they're right there, and they proved it. They're right there with you. They beat the fuck out of you for 3 quarters. Beat the fuck out of you. Sills, who's comparable OC to Steichen? You know, I thought the guy Munkin was going to be a guy like that, but, you know, I think he's walked back a little bit. I think they kind of panic in postseason play. Ton of football left. Ton of football. All we need is a huge hit on Stafford's spinal cord, and he's done. Okay? That's some strategy. Seals, do you think Quinyon deserved the best defensive player of the week? I think that shit's subjective. I thought he was great. And I don't know who he covered. Mbuka, by the way, so maybe, wait a minute. Mbuka got the offensive rookie of the month in the NFC. And that's who Quinyon Mitchell covered on Sunday? Sure. Okay, he got, again, look at this. Lockdown corner. A lockdown zone corner. Okay. And all you guys still keep bringing up that Cooper DeJean's a corner. And Vic has to keep telling you and correcting all of you. He's not a corner. He plays the nickel. And some of you just don't want to hear that. You think he's a corner like he's Patrick Surtain, and he's not. He doesn't play the same position at all. Nowhere near it. Yeah, Mbuka's got really great numbers going on right now. I think he's going to be in the conversation for potential Rookie of the Year offensively in the NFC. All right. So let me go with Jalen Hurts here. How do you think Jalen Hurts has handled all this week as he gets ready for Denver? How do you think he's done? Hey, Xander, do me a favor, please. Send Jason Cole a link to the show for 4:30. Is that cool? Just give me a heads up if you hear me, because I know you're busy back there. Just give me a heads up. Cool. Great. So Jason Cole will be at 4:30. We'll talk to him about the Hall of Fame. So that's great. Okay. Sil's picking and choosing what he likes and doesn't like. That's called the Dan Sileo Show, and it's called a talk show. Thank you for helping me tell people how I run a show. I guess. Again, that guy sometimes with his takes are fucking baffling. I mean, he's been ridiculed his whole life. I think he'll be fine. He is focused, even if he gives lawyer answers. Okay? Sills, O-line, yes. Yes. O-line is the main source of our problems. They are playing like the damn Bengals. I completely agree with you. Okay? I do. I guys, let me see some scores. What do you think this game's going to be on Sunday with Denver? Mansels, I hope this AJ stuff works out. I don't want Brown to be traded. He's too good. Okay? Sills, Jalen is just worried about winning games. Well, here's exactly what. So AJ Brown did go after Seth Joyner. He did go after Seth. Now, here's Jalen's comments first. Jalen Hurts, when asked if he has extra conversations with AJ when games like Sunday happen and AJ's frustrated. We just focus on the work. So the answer is no. The quarterback doesn't feel the need to address it. I'm not sure Jalen's wrong. So this is what it was allegedly tweeted by AJ Brown and then immediately removed. And he was going at Seth. The audacity of you telling someone to do their job. My stats every year back up that I'm doing mine. How about you do your job and call out the BS, but you won't because they're paying you, so you have to play along and be a good boy. Those old heads can be tripped, boy. I'm not sure what the boy means, and I'm not sure again. I know that Hugh and all these guys have gone back and forth now, and it's becoming a topic in Philly now. The guy just apologized, and now he's going after a media guy. Whatever you think of Seth, and he's talking about stats here. Okay? He's talking about stats? Bro. And then he's trying to tell you yesterday that the tweet wasn't. Again, I'll tell you this, Dave. That's not how WIP's taking it. And that's not how other media people in the market are now taking it. That's why I said allegedly. And again, I mean, my stance hasn't changed. Shut up and do your job. Or getting paid to do this, dude, is a crybaby. Listen, Marsh. Getting paid to do this, dude, is a crybaby. I mean, I think people are getting tired of it. I do. I think people are just getting tired of this. So that should be. Listen. We're the only people that call people out here. We call people out here. Xander calls people out here. You want to know why JAKIB is kicking ass? It's the only place that's unfiltered. Eagles aren't going to blow out anyone. They couldn't do it against Dallas, who made Russ and Caleb look like all pros. Terrible first half against the Rams, an abomination in the second half against the Bucs. Bleacher Report has him being traded in the offseason. Yeah, I here, one of my topics is this. You think the problems have gone away because they put out some sort of apology campaign yesterday? AJ, I don't give a shit about Seth Joyner, dude. I'm talking about AJ here in the Eagles. AJ's immature and in denial. He takes plays off and admitted that he isn't evolving. He shuts down during games. These problems are aimed at the quarterback. And they're aimed at the head coach because the coach goes along with the philosophy and the player goes along with it. This is going to spill over until Sunday. You want to see frustration? This Sunday game, to me, the Eagles are playing two people. They're playing the Broncos and they're playing themselves. The worst thing you can have. You're playing two opponents at one time. You see this right here, folks? You want to talk about denial? Where in the world have they shown that they play like that? Where? What, the minus 3 yards in the second half? The 0 for 8 and catches in the second half? Who are they blowing out? And he thinks they're going to put 52 on the board when guess what? They don't throw the ball. If they threw the ball, sure, 50 points, no doubt. They don't throw the ball enough for 50 points. Dude, only the Tennessee Titans have a shittier offense than you. And M. Reyes is saying they're going to blow him out. Talk about a joke. He's joking? No, he's not. Even the Giants coming up, they won't blow out. AJ wants his accolades. I don't think there's anything wrong with that. I'm starting to think this is more about numbers now. Nope, another game he doesn't get the ball. He will cry again. Hey, Marshall, can I tell you what I see? And I haven't made my prediction until tomorrow. Can I tell you what I see, Marshall? Like 28, 21, AJ Brown, 4 catches, 50 yards. Something like that. Barkley probably gets going a little bit. And you see Barkley with about 110, 15 yards. Because I think that D-line for the Broncos is undersized. And it'll be their edge rushers are great. Okay? I think their edge rushers are really great. I think they're inside. I think that's a good matchup for the guys. They may get like a little bit of movement this week. And if you give Barkley a little movement, I think he goes for about 120. Hurts will be around the same numbers, 125, 65 yards rushing, and they'll win another ball game. Do I think the Broncos can win this game? Yeah, if you shit all over yourselves again and you give the ball back to them in the second half and you make it a one-possession game like you have all 4 games. You know, you've made these games one-possession ball games in every single football game you've played. So when people are going like this, yeah, we're going to stretch it out. We're going to blow them out. Every game you've played this year, the opposing team has had a chance to win the ball game. And people are posting like you're going to blow them out when you haven't. You haven't blown anyone out. AJ versus Patrick Surtain is going to be interesting. Let me tell you what's going to happen there with that. Why does Surtain have to concern himself with the passing game when the passing game is not efficient? It's 31st. And I think this is part of the problem. AJ's not going to get his opportunity to compete against Surtain. Surtain's going to look like he beat him. You get that, right? When you play against another great football player in the NFL, and you don't get a chance to compete against them because the team's not throwing you the ball, the opposing guy wins that. I think the environment finally swings in our favor. What are you talking about? Swings in your favor. You're 20-1. What are you talking about? Swings in your favor. Nothing's going to swing in your favor. You win football games this way, dude. This is how you win football games. What are you talking about? What do you think? You're going to evolve into like what? The Rams offense? You're fucking crazy. Okay? I love what shirt? I do. I love the Kane shirt. If the offense has another trash game and they lose at home to Denver, whoa, the offense will have another trash game. But the difference is you won't lose to Denver at home. I don't think. I don't. What are the Broncos ranked versus the run? I believe, if I'm not mistaken, I know this. I think you could throw the football on them. I think they're 5th against the run defensively. Total defense. The Broncos are 10th. Pass defense. The Broncos are 9th. Run defense. The Broncos are 11th. They're a pretty good football team. They're a good football team, man. Let me see here. Let me double check that number. Rush defense. Broncos are 11th. Scoring, they're 2nd. Red zone, they're 1st. Third down, they're 3rd. It's a pretty good unit, but I will concede to what Xander said yesterday. The opponents, again, I want to see them against this team. Smitty Cook Surtain, the last time they played. When was that, the last time they played, Monster? Is that before Barkley or after Barkley was on the team? Because ever since Barkley's been on the team, you ain't cooked anybody in your passing game. Yeah, I mean, you haven't cooked anybody. 2020, Barkley wasn't on the football team then. Barkley's on the team now. Offense runs through Saquon, not through AJ. Remember, in 2000, when he got here, in 2022 and 23, the offense went through AJ Brown. Look at the numbers. After that, when Saquon got here, that offense doesn't go through him any longer. What AJ have in a Super Bowl? Did he have a lot of yards? I forget. So far ago. I mean, hey, by the way, if he was so good in the Super Bowl, why is he complaining? Hurt 600 yards. Jaden 400. 1-1. And Jaden's missed 2 games. Is that right? Hey, James. Jaden's missed 2 games, right? And Hurts has 600 yards. By the way, I want to show you guys something. How many people in here think that Justin Fields sucks as a quarterback? How many people think Justin Fields sucks as a quarterback? You think Justin Fields sucks as a quarterback, right? Me too. James, you think he sucks? RC3 is a bum. He's not good. All right. Let's take a look at him. Justin Fields. Justin Fields. Where is Justin Fields? Quarterback, New York Jets. Where is Justin Fields? Here he is. So Justin Fields has played in 3 ball games. And he's got 471 yards and 2 touchdown passes. Jalen Hurts has played in 4 games, and he's got 600 yards. Justin Fields has 65% completion percentage. Jalen's got 69, which is way better, in my opinion. Fields has 60 attempts. Hurts has 140 more. And he's only got 140 yards more passing. I mean, Jalen Hurts has a 101 rating. Fields has a 100 rating. Boy, they look pretty similar to me. Any turnovers? Let's take a look at that. We'll be fair here. Jalen has no turnovers. Fields has no turnovers. Want to double check? Fields, does he have any turnovers? No turnovers. No turnovers for Justin Fields. How many touchdown passes does Hurts have? 5. Am I right? And he's missed 1 game. So the numbers are a little bit skewed for him. And Justin Fields has 2. Those numbers seem a little different to me. I mean, almost the same. Doesn't Jalen have a fumble too? He got hit in the pocket, dropped the ball, and the Rams recovered, didn't he? I mean, Fields has a 100 rating. So does Jalen. I don't know. I mean, so you want at quarterback, Sills, Hurts or Fields? I'm talking about the perception on how you see one guy versus the other guy. Hurts versus Fields here. I had a stat here or a trend here. Hurts versus Fields. And here it is. I want to show you something here too. Somebody sent me this. Fields year 2 versus Hurts year 2. No, not that one. That's not the one. My point is that both guys, here it is. So passing yards, this is because Fields missed a game, weeks 1, 2, and 4. He missed week 3 against the Buccaneers because he got hurt. So we're going to go 1, 2, and 4 with Jalen versus Fields. Fields had 471 yards in 3 games. Hurts has 383. Passing touchdowns. Fields has 2. Hurts has 2. Rushing yards. Fields has 170. Hurts has 139. Rushing TDs. Fields has 3. Hurts has 4. One guy's elite and considered a top 5 passer. The other guy's considered a bum. They got the same numbers. In 3 starts, they got the same numbers. One guy's a bum, and I think he's a bum too. Not Jalen. I think that kid Fields is a bum. They're the same numbers. They're identical almost. Look, this is weeks 1, 2, and 4. And I'm going to show you being on a different team. 1, 2, and 4. Justin Fields has 471 yards passing. Hurts has 383. The reason we took game 3 up because he wasn't in it. He got He got hurt, and Tyrod Taylor played. They got the same amount of touchdowns. Fields has 178 yards rushing. Hurts has 139. Fields has 3 TDs rushing, and Jalen Hurts has 4. I'm not in any way sitting here trying to pimp you that Justin Fields is as good a quarterback or better than Jalen Hurts. I'm just trying to tell you that the perception of quarterbacking is really in the eye of the beholder. I'm out of pocket? That's fucking reality. What are you talking about, guy? I'm looking at a quarterback's performance like everyone else does, and I'm looking at Jalen's, and I'm looking at Fields. One guy's a bum, and the other guy's not. I'm not telling you Jalen's a bum. Stop crying, everyone. Stop your whining and stop your fucking crying. Okay? So I didn't expect AJ to be here for the last year of his deal because of the cap. Now it's definite because of the drama. This goes back to last year. This ain't a weak thing. Okay? Rage baiting? Once again, folks, because you got guys with shit in their fucking ears. I never said Justin Fields was better than Jalen Hurts, nor did I say he was even close. I'm talking about people's perception of what good and bad is. The fuck you talking about? Nobody's suggesting that. I'm talking about how people see people. Nobody's saying anything like that. Yeah, I'd rather have Justin. Dude, I wouldn't want Justin Fields to run my rec league. Nobody's saying that. I'm talking about perception. Do the Eagles value more of the process or just the final result? As a fan, should I care less about how? Yes. That's what they're telling you. Bro, don't care how the paintings look. Their idea is they just want to sell it. They want to sell the painting. They don't care how it looks. Absolutely. They want it to be, hey, dude, if you're looking for a masterpiece, the Eagles are not going to give you a masterpiece. They're just not. Who cares? Bro, 20 years from now, no one's going to remember the offense and how fucked up it looked. They're going to look up the list and see who won the Super Bowl. Nobody goes back to the Dolphins. Hey, does anybody know? Hey, Kyle, do me a favor. Go back into the Super Bowl where the Dolphins ended up undefeated. Here, let me show you something that to the point that I'm going to make here. And nobody will remember this. How many passes did Bob Greasy complete in the 1974 Super Bowl? Seven. He completed 7 passes. Anybody remember that? Or do they just remember he won back-to-back Super Bowls? They had fucking 7 passes completed. Nobody cares about. Nobody goes back and does that. That's probably even better. The 72 season would be the 73 Super Bowl. 8. So when Bob Greasy's 2 Super Bowl wins, he completed, 15 passes in 2 Super Bowls. Nobody remembers that. Nobody's going to remember the offense of the Eagles a year ago where Hurts went for 29.05. Nobody cares about that shit. You look up the list 20 years from now, you're going to go, Hurts was the Super Bowl MVP, and the Eagles won the team. They won 14 ball games that year, and they went on an iconic run. Nobody remembers that shit. Nobody's going to remember that. My point, though, AJ has always been a drama queen. Yeah, well, remember this, Jeff. I said this to you By the way, guys, please hit the like button. I said this to you yesterday. I'm not shocked by this. I don't really care. I know who the player is. When all of this started going down, and now get this. So he apologizes, and reportedly now he's going after a media guy. Who in their right mind thought that this was going to fucking end? Anybody who thinks this shit's going to end is just not really. I mean, I don't know what else to tell you. This is not going away. But if you know the player, what's the line? Who posted that line by Dick Vermeil? We got to get Coach Vermeil on again. And we're going to get Coach on again. We got Doug Peterson next week at 3:30. Okay, AJ's not going to stop this. Sills, was AJ like this in Tennessee? Why do you think they moved him? People think that the Tennessee Titans moved him, and they moved the guy because it was over $600,000. They moved him because he was a pain in the ass too. Now, I think it's a stupid move, obviously, but Derrick Henry hit all that shit. That team wasn't driven through the wide receiver. He had pedestrian numbers there. 60 catches, 1,000 yards. Dude. I mean, Hunter Renfrow had numbers like that. He had Hunter Renfrow numbers in Tennessee. Did they underutilize him? Yeah, well, they had Ryan Tannehill and they had Derrick Henry there. But he was a pain in the ass. But pain in the ass is, to me, I don't care. If you're a good football player and you're a pain in the ass, so what? Jerry Jones getting mad we're stealing the drama. Yeah, but here, bud, here's the difference. You got drama and you win. I dig that. The Eagles are the most talked about football team in the NFL right now. And me, I fucking love it. You win, you have drama, you talk shit. This is a team made in heaven. Fucking great. The worst thing you could be is the Cowboys. You talk shit and suck. Hey, you talk shit and you suck. Those aren't teams you want to cover. You want to cover teams that win, talk shit, have drama. Fuck yeah. I'm lined up every day for that, baby. Get this. You know the kind of team the Eagles are? The Eagles are a kind of team that after this game on Sunday against the Broncos, every guy in the locker room will be in fucking tears crying about how much I love you. And they'll be sitting there making up with one another, talking about the drama, hugging, and then they'll go out in the back there at NovaCare and fucking have a fist fight. Do you know that's the kind of team I played on at Miami? We had guys in the locker room crying in 1 minute. The next minute, we're in a fist fight. And then the next minute, we're hugging. Then the next minute, we're out to dinner. Then the next minute, we're wrestling right there in the restaurant. Fucking great. Those were the kind of teams I played on. Hey. Like the Raider teams. Yeah, Raiders of the 80s. Hey. I know this would be a little bit too much for you there, man. Because I know you like ass kissing and all that other shit. You couldn't handle that there, honey. You know, somebody telling you he loves you, and 2 minutes later he slapped you in the face. I know, sweetheart. Be a little hard for you to handle that. Like North Dallas 40. I love you. You're fucking in tears. I can't believe I said those things about you. I'm so fucking sorry. Oh, my God. You know how many times I got into fights with my best friend You know how many wrestling matches I got into with Jerome Brown? And we would be in tears after that. And we'd go up to his house in Brooksville. Do you know how many wrestling matches and fights I've been in with that guy? 20, 30. Oh, my God. Oh, my God, no way. Is Texas Boy alive? Whew. Dude, I'm so sorry. We were gonna send an SOS out, and we were gonna get the Big Sills bat signal out to see if Texas Boy was okay. I was really upset. I mean, we were gonna send and put out an APB for Texas Boy because we thought for sure that you went into respiratory issues after your tie, and you guys. You cheered a tie, and you celebrated the tie. And we were concerned about you because we were going to have to get the heart thumpers, because Texas Boy's like, oh, my God, we tied. Fuck. Can you believe we tied the Packers? No, really, but all right. So I'm really glad, Texas Boy, you're still alive. We thought you took a knee, man. I thought you took a knee, son. I'm glad to see you're okay. Cowboys celebrating 1-2-1. All right. Hey, it's a start. Texas Boy probably shit his pants watching the game. Holy shit. Can you imagine the shit stains in those the shit stains in the Cowboy pants and the fans? Woo! That must have been an unpleasant room to be in. Hey, did you shit yourself? Yeah, I shit myself. Hey, what about the tie? Thank God. What a victory. You didn't win. Oh, yeah, we did. Go the victors, go the ties in Dallas. Go the victors, goes the ties. Salute. Salute. Shindan. Oh, my God. This shit's too good. Oh, my God. Look at this. Who's Javonte Williams? Who's Janice Williams? Who's Janice Williams? Why are you talking about Jaden Blue? Who the fuck is Jaden Blue? Is that a stripper? Who's Janice Williams? M. Reyes says it's a Cowboy running back. Oh, Jaden Blue. Okay. Jaden Blue who? Who'd he blow? Mozzie? Jaden Blue sounds like a stripper there in Dallas at $1 Million Saloon. You know what I'm talking, Texas Boy. Right there on Greenville Avenue. Right next to Circus Circus. Hell of a stripper place. You got $1 Million 1 and $1 Million 2. And I'm sure Jaden Blue, table 6, right next to Chandelier. Chandelier is a hell of a dancer. And she won't charge you a lot for lap dances. From what I hear, my friends are telling me. I'm just hearing this. Sorry, Cam, I'm hearing this here, but Jaden Blue, I heard she likes to dance over at $1 Million 2. $1 Million 1 is kind of where the governors go and shit. So they don't really put riffraff in there. So she's probably at $1 Million 2. And probably works Circus Circus too, if I'm not mistaken. So, yeah. George Pickens. Who? Oh, the guy that got run out of Pittsburgh? So, wait a minute. Texas Blue. Hey, is it Texas Blue? Texas Boy. Excuse me. Sorry about that. George Pickens, A.J. Brown. Seriously, right? Is that what you're saying? I wouldn't even put George Pickens in the same conversation as A.J. Brown, ever. Houston strip clubs? I don't know what you're talking about. Only thing that makes money in Dallas is the $1 Million Saloon. I wouldn't know anything about that. Man, Ronnie Jarrett and all them guys back in the day. Yeah, Ronnie Jarrett, man. Wow, what a great guy. Randy White and I knew him very well. Yeah, Ronnie ran, and yeah. Then we go over to Campese's and hang out at Joe Campese's place. Yeah, Campese's, $1 Million One. Me and Ed Jones and Crawford, and that was a fun time, man. Won't lie. Won't lie. And Texas boys talking to me about Jaden Blow. I don't know. Jaden Blow. Okay. All right. Sills, why are you reading my comments? That was the twist, you retarded. Are you retarded? I don't know. Am I? Probably a little bit. CTE kicks in. Why am I reading your posts that are in here on my show? Huh. I'll have to get back to you on that one. I'm a gentleman. This club is for people like myself. What's that? Hey, what's that? Oh my God. I know the kind of club you go to. What's the name of that club that had all dudes like dancing? What the one skit? What's the guy when Chris Farley and what's his name did that skit? What's the name? What's the guys? What's the all guys? The one that all the Bears. Holy cow, there's somebody in here from Dallas. I thought that place got closed down. Jaden Blue is one of the D-list girls working on Tuesday afternoon in the C-section. What's the club called where all the dudes dance? That Chris Farley. Yeah. Shill's pretending he doesn't know those dude clubs. No, I was only told that you were in there because somebody was tweeting from it. There you go. There's my boy, Chippendales. That's where M. Reyes goes. Can I have a white wine spritzer at Chippendales? And I'll take the special, too. The one with the umbrella? Yeah. How would you know, Kim? How would you know, Kim? God, this drama is so good. Oh, my God. Hey, what about the Broncos on Sunday? Oh, yeah, there's a game? Jaden Blue Oyster Bar from Police. Oh, my God. A.J. Brown doesn't like himself right now. He's not better than nobody, Sills. Hey, dude, if you're going to start talking personal shit about the guy's depression, I'm not going there. I think he's upset because he wants to be in the offense to go through him. I don't have a problem with that. What I have a problem with is that people are reporting and making it sound like his feelings matter more than Jordan Mailata's. Because why? He posted something on X? Fuck that shit. He's no more competitor than me. His feelings don't matter more than mine. You know, well, he put that out there on blast that the team and the offense needs to change. Oh, thanks. So great. Media dickheads like me can twist it around into any kind of slingy that I can make it into, or any kind of like slinky that I can make that look like. And so I can make that into anything I want to shape it into. Thanks, AJ. Great. Now you put more narratives on shit that's probably not even remotely true. Right? I don't know, man. I think you're a Bayside chick. I don't know there, Kim. I don't know, man. I don't think you're a Howard Beach chick. And I don't think you're a Sheepshead Bay. So I'm gonna sit there and I'm gonna hang there on I think you're a Bayside chick. Brooklyn, maybe. Nobody talking to you, Sileo, about Jaden Blow. The gum guy named Twiz said, "Where Blue at?" Boy, Texas boy, you come in here to get your face kicked in, don't you, son? Cowboys are 1-2-1. It's like the greatest start to a season in 30 years. Christian Wilkins at Chippendales a lot. Is that the guy in the Raider line? I'm going to leave that one alone. Or I'll have Xander talking to me about words I can and cannot use. Kelly or Jesse from Bayside, Saved by the Bell. How you doing? I got a lot of friends at Bayside and Sheepshead Bay and over there towards that neck of the woods there. Yeah, Howard Beach, all paisans. So the Broncos. Blowout this Sunday? Are you watching Hard Knocks NFC East in December? Probably. Oh my God. There's no way the Eagles. No way the Eagles will have Hard Knocks in that building if AJ's acting like a stunad. There's no way. Let's see what Bo Nix is doing right now. So where's Bo Nix? Here's what Bo's doing. Dude, my cat's having a better year than Jalen. So here's Bo Nix. He's on pace for 36-59 and 30 TD passes. 65 completion percentage, 66. Not the best. 17. He's on pace for 17 picks. Yeah, no. And we're talking about Tennessee, Indianapolis. Indianapolis has got a good defense. They've got a good defense. Okay? AJ when he's under 100 yards. Come on, man. Okay, so what do you think AJ's numbers are this weekend? Which one? I got 3. How you doing? I'm definitely not sleeping on the Broncos, nor am I. I don't think this is a blowout. Get this. Because AJ acted up, you know what you're hearing people say? This is going to be a blowout game, and everyone's going to get on the same page, and they are going to tear people. I'm not buying that. Oh. Hey, Kim, this is the clap you don't need tetracycline for. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you very much. Happy anniversary to my Mikey. We met 8 years ago to the day on a New York subway. Whew. Wow. So some dude went up to an Italian chick in a New York subway. This homeboy better be a paisan too, man. Holy cow. Hey, Mikey, you in here? So you went up to an Italian chick in a New York sub? Okay. Is that right? Hey, yo, honey. Oh, I'm surprised she didn't stab you. Or kick you with a heel. What are the chances? A Polak and an Eagle fan. Oh, I'm sorry. Chances being from Poland and an Eagle fan married 5 months later. Here's the 50 more. That's awesome, man. And watch football with, he deserves the Congressional Medal of Honor. That's so sweet, man. Congratulations. So this guy went up to an Italian chick in a New York subway. Hey, excuse me. I'll be like, Kim must have looked at this dude and went, "You're not from around here, are you?" Hey, Kim, is that right? Kim, you must have looked at this dude and went like this. "You're not from around here, are you, son?" That's why she probably was attracted to the guy. She looked at him, she goes, "You're not from around here." And, right? He goes, "What do you mean?" Because there's places in New York you don't go up to anybody and talk. The subway, church, and a toilet. You don't okay, you don't go anywhere. You don't talk to anybody. You don't talk in the toilet, you don't talk in church, and you don't talk to anybody on the subway. Hey, how you doing? How's your day going? Fuck you. Hey, I knew that was coming. Kim looking for attention. Kim gets my attention every day. You know why? She's got an O at the end of her name and she's a paisan. Absolutely. You get my attention because you root for a loser team. Texas boy. Kim gets my attention all the time, dude. That was really nice. Says, you think we trade Dean at the trading deadline? For what? The guy's always hurt. I actually kind of like this Texas boy. He comes in for beatings and he don't mind. He's a glutton for punishment, just like his Cowboy team. Comes in, gets his ass kicked, and he loves it. This guy's a glutton for punishment. I like people like that. I'll keep beating your ass, Texas boy. Not a problem. I'm one of those guys. He comes in for more, I'll give you more. Next time, I'll give you the boot. Same for reaching into my plate at the table. Bad move. There you go. Yeah, you reach into my plate at like a restaurant, unless I know you well. Xander would get that. He'd get that autonomy. He could do something like that. Anybody else? I don't know. Yeah, I can't imagine. Can you imagine being on the subway and the guy comes up to Kimberly and goes, yo, how you doing? See, this is New York. Hey, Kim, tell the people here, this is how New Yorkers are when they get on the subway and they see somebody that's a tall drink of water, right? You go there and you go, oh. I don't know why. Oh. Talking to me? Yeah, I'm talking to you. How you doing? Drink of water? Where we going? I'm going home. Where you going? Depending on where you want me to go. I want you to go straight to hell. I love you already. You see, you got to remember, when an Italian chick starts talking shit back to you, that's a turn on. When an Italian chick starts giving you nice conversation, that's not right. No. That's right. Right? Yeah, I'm starting to buy this thing happen between Seth Joyner and AJ Brown. I'm getting a boatload of text messages now that he deleted it right away, right after. I thought he apologized. And by the way, I don't give a shit about Seth, what he said. But my problem is that I thought this guy apologized and didn't want to make more of any kind of issues. Didn't he just say that his emotions got the best of him? The audacity of you telling someone to do their job. My stats every year back up that I'm doing mine. How about you do your job and call out the BS, but you won't because they're paying you. So you have to play along and be a good boy. Whew. The boy thing is like, that's not cool. That's why I said allegedly. But I see IP all over this, man. They got sound bites everywhere on it. Hughes made a comment on it. He was talking about it on his show. AJ just deleted it. AJ couldn't help himself. He's impulsive. He continues to make the story go on by doing that with Seth. Seth's a pawn in this. Hey, Kim, whether he's right or wrong, why put fuel on it? Nope. Get this. I agree with Xander. He's not wrong. Okay? He's not wrong. I just don't like the way it's being covered. Can't trust Philly sports media. They're CNN. Look, Seth being paid to be a shill for the Eagles, it's the only reason he's on WIP. They're not going to let Seth Joyner go on WIP if he's dog shitting on the Eagles. The Eagles would have that X'd in a second. Of course he's on WIP kissing the Eagles' ass. Of course he is. They wouldn't allow him. Go watch AJ's presser. He looks at Bob Lang before answering the question with a disappointed look on his face. He didn't mean anything in his presser. Well, it wasn't really an apology. He is. Go watch 22. Again, I don't want to say, let me take this back. I don't know about taking plays off, about half-ass effort. All right. I mean, I'm coddling a guy taking plays off. Okay. Dude, he claims he's a private contractor. Nobody pays him, he said. Bro, you don't go on WIP unless you're kissing the Eagles' balls. That's a fact. AJ is number 66 in yards. That's true. And also catches. He's 61 in catches. I mean, dude, this is why you guys get to come here and say whatever you want. AJ this week, 3 catches, 42 yards. Next week, 1 tweet, 6 million views. AJ this week, 3 catches, 42 yards, 1 tweet, 6 million views. Actually, it's brilliant. Actually, that's fucking brilliant. Yeah, let me phrase this a different way. To come on my program, Xander and Joe Krause have no issues with Seth. None. I'm talking about my friendship with him. Okay? My friendship. If he's not a paid analyst on anybody's platform, he's not their friend any longer. And that's how he conducts his business. Fine. Doug Peterson next week is coming on for free. Mark Schlereth tomorrow's coming on. All the people like Ice Cube, they come on. Ice Cube comes on for free. I don't pay him. I don't pay anybody. I've never paid anybody to come on my programs. I get some of the biggest names in all of entertainment and sports. I don't pay for anybody. I got Goldberg. You think I pay Bill Goldberg? I don't pay those guys. Sills, money over friendship. It depends on how strong the friendship is. Okay? I mean, hey, I'm with you. Fucking jackass. Hold on here. You see Xander, what he just put there? I know Sills ain't paying. Not me. I know someone else who will. Sills reason most people watch this show, we are prone to call out bullshit. That's the best thing about JAKIB, man. Do you know what truly the best thing is? Sileo, fuck you. That take is terrible. Sills, that's not bad. Hey, what's going on? Xander and me going back and forth. How you doing? You know what it is, though? Everything we do here on this network and why I'm proud to be part of it is genuine. And I say wine like fine wine. Genuine. That's what I like. Talk to me like that. So let me read this soliloquy here. Where is this thing? The audacity of you telling somebody to do his job. This is a day after he fucking was told his emotions get the best of him. My stats every year back up that I'm doing mine. How about you do your job and call out all the bullshit? You won't, though, because you're being paid. God, what a gift. I thought when I was coming to Philly to cover the Philadelphia Eagles that I was covering a boring-ass football team. Hell no, baby. This motherfucker wins at an iconic rate, has drama like I've never... Dude, you know, this reminds me of the Cowboys 90s team. This is without the blow and the strippers. We got to work on that, but hey. Hey, couple 8 balls and a couple strippers away. You're the 90s guy. A couple 8 balls away and a couple strippers away from being the night, and 2 more Super Bowls away, I might add. Holy cow, without further ado. The show and the man who tries to downplay the drama. Well, you got the wrong show here, baby. Because this motherfucker, we hit that bitch up, man. How you doing? Oh, there's a Bronco game this weekend? Heavenly gods of football, thank you for A.J. Brown. Please don't ever trade him. What, I get to cover Devontae? Hey, Devontae, how's your route running? He's like Shador, watch. Without further ado, the man, the myth, the legend, Big Z. Xander Crouch joins us now.
What's up, Big Sills? How you doing, brother?
Woo! Wait!
Yeah, I hear you. I hear you, Big Sills.
Dude, what's up with your boy, man?
With what boy, AJ?
Yeah, that guy.
Dude, listen, man. He's gonna get the most. I'm happy he's doing it. I still hold that. I do. I'm happy he's doing it because this team needs it. This team needs somebody to keep
but why
pushing.
why does his feelings matter when someone tells me this? Dude, he's not more competitive than Jordan Mailata. He's not more competitive than any of these.
They're not the 8th ranked offense, though.
What?
They're not the 8th ranked offense, though.
Okay.
They're the 31st. It means that somebody's got to get up there.
No. He's the 61st ranked receiver, you mean?
Yeah, but I really now, hey, look, maybe I'm wrong. I think AJ cares more about the overall. I think he knows that overall this offense is nowhere near what it should be. Nowhere near.
Okay.
And there's a lot of people apparently who don't think like that. I don't know. I mean, every time we bring it up, we get knuckleheads in the chat. You know, oh, how could you criticize the offense? They're 20-1. Offense stinks. They're one of the worst offenses in all of football. Think about that for a second. They're one of the worst offenses in all of football.
But Xander,
AJ Brown's saying it, you know?
But Xander, this shit's not new.
Well, it is new in a sense of in 22 and 23, they were nowhere near these ranks. Nowhere near it.
Excuse me, say those years again?
22 and 23. 21 too, kind of.
Well, yeah, because Barkley wasn't on the team.
Well, you're right about when Barkley came here. That's when they became this run-heavy team. But it didn't take till week 4, remember. You know what I mean? Like, they didn't do it right away. Which would insinuate, though, when they signed Barkley, they probably didn't try or want to become this level of
No way.
You know?
And the evolving into it, his problem began with the Philadelphia Eagles, in my opinion, that the offense was starting to go through Barkley after week 4. And ever since that bye, he's had a problem with the approach of the offense. And it hasn't wavered. So him doing all this stuff right now, it really hasn't changed. John McMullen's right. This is not fucking new. This is not some grand epiphany here all of a sudden.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, look, that is true. But last year, again, we've talked about it. I mean, you had the historic running game and a great defense. You know, I think you're going to have a great defense again this year, but is Saquon going to run to the same level? Probably not. You got to get back to a little more of that balanced approach, in my opinion. I mean, I hate the world that we live in, though, where it's like, and even John has done this to me, and John is not normally like this. And I told John, and we talked about it off the air, but I'm like, why would I bring anything up? You keep saying to me, it's like, I'm not trying to go to the extreme on the other side. I'm not trying to become this insane pass-happy football team. I'm trying to bridge the gap of when you don't run the ball as successfully as you did last year. How do you get your other playmakers involved so that you can become a more potent team? It's not about numbers. It's not about statistics. It's not even about where the offense ranks. It's about getting the most out of your football team so you can give yourself the chance to compete and deliver the Super Bowl again this year. I think they got to do that. I think AJ is right about the fact that if he's going and he's involved in the offense, then they're a better football team for it. Now, am I going to sit up here and say AJ's not a little bit of a drama queen? No, I'm not going to say that. He is. And I'm all right with that because I've employed one for 5 years.
I'm
just kidding. I'm just kidding. You know I love you, Dave. I'm just kidding.
I don't mind that, though. But
it
I know
doesn't bother
that.
me that much. I've never been bothered by people.
But I know that.
Like that.
I know that. I know that. I'm good with it. Here, let me hook you up on something here. So I want to show you something. Do you think perception's kind of crazy on how we look at certain people, how we look at quarterbacks, and how we look at Justin Herbert, the optics, Herbert or Allen or anybody who throws the ball in the National Football League compared to Jalen? We always have those optics and how we look at people, correct?
Right.
Let me throw this at you. Go here.
I heard this. I see this bait. The only guy who picked it up in the chat was Mac Main. This bait that you're tossing out. This is like fresh live bait from the shore at Seaside, from the store, the Seaside Shack. This is fresh live bait right here. Let's hear it. So
all right. So in weeks 1, 2, and 4, and the guy missed because he was injured, and he missed the Bucks game. His name is Justin Fields. And Justin Fields and Jalen Hurts. So I was presented this. Overrated, can't throw, running back, shouldn't start, Justin Fields. Hurts. Great arm, elite. Top 5, underrated. And so here this year, so far, passing yards, Justin Fields, 471, Hurts, 383. TDs, Fields 2, Hurts 2. Rushing, 178, Fields, Hurts 139. Rushing TDs, Fields 3, Hurts 4. I'm not in any way suggesting to you that Justin Fields is a good quarterback. I think the guy blows. But Xander, this guy's having a season like Justin Fields is having.
Well, I don't think that's all on Jalen Hurts. I think this is what they're trying to make him. Like, it's crazy that look, I know they're winning, guys, but it is crazy if you think about how much they've boiled down this offense. Like, in other places, coaches get hired. Coaches make $15 to $20 million a year without ever having a coaching job so that they can what? Develop a quarterback, make their quarterback better. In Philadelphia, it appears it's the only team in the league where they're not developing the quarterback. They're not even trying to develop.
They're not trying to
anymore. They are almost like the opposite. I don't know if you can go as far as to say it's the opposite, but if it's not developing, I mean, what is it? You know, someone used to tell me if you're not getting smarter, if you're not getting stronger, you're slowly dying. You know, in a way, it's kind of like that. They're not developing the quarterback. I don't get it. I don't understand why they've tried to do it. I mean, remember, this comes after years where has Jalen been perfect every year? Absolutely not. But Jalen in 22 was an extremely special player by every metric.
And why?
Well, he used his legs. He used his arm. He did everything.
One other thing. Shane.
What? Shane helped him a lot. Helped him out. But Shane developed him.
Get this. Shane was the offensive coordinator. Justin Herbert's rookie year, he wins the Rookie of the Year award. Shane goes to Philadelphia. Shane has the second runner-up to the MVP in Hurts. Shane now has Daniel Jones. He looks like the comeback fucking player of the year. Didn't Gardner Minshew also go to the Pro Bowl when he was in Indianapolis? Dude, the best coach they ever had for the guy was the guy who's the head coach in Indy. They've never really put anybody else around him. Now I'll ask you this then too. Maybe this is what happened to Wentz in the end. They never wanted to develop Wentz. If you're not developing fucking Hurts, maybe you weren't developing Wentz either.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, it's just what it appears to me. I don't know if they're.
I agree with you.
Just what it appears to me. They keep taking more off his plate. Again, we've reached the point too where I get it. We keep winning, so it's a tough leg to stand on. It really is. But I truly believe if we didn't win the 4 games, then this entire fan base would be acting completely different. We could be 3-1 or 2-2, and I think people would be acting completely different. But we've completely almost turned off all of our objective thinking about this football team. Well, and I get it, because it's like, why do we play the game? Obviously, winning is the most important thing. So it is important. But again, the thing I take from 23 is you can't let winning just mask all your problems. And I don't understand why. Again, if Jalen sucked in 22 and 23, I'd be like, all right, I get it. You paid him $50 million, and now you got to manage it. The guy's been a stud so many different times in his career that I've seen no evidence that you have to legitimately de-emphasize your use for the player in the offense to the level that they have. So much so we're getting 0 completions in a half with A.J. Brown and Devontae Smith and Dallas Goedert. And people think it's normal. People get mad at us for talking about it. It's crazy.
You think Hurts is regressing as a passer?
Well, I don't know if he's regressing, but I'll ask you this. When you don't use something, what happens to it?
It atrophies.
Right. So in a way, I think it's a natural evolution that they've asked him to, when they do ask him to pass, that's so inconsistent and there's no rhyme or reason to it. You could argue probably he hasn't been able to find the rhythm like you would be hoping for by year 6, because I do think he was on his way to finding that rhythm. I mean, remember, this is a guy I've watched since freshman year of college. He could legitimately not barely throw, but like that Alabama offense did not push the ball. And we have a lot of Alabama fans actually in our chat. All of you who watched the Alabama Crimson Tide in 2016 or 17 or whatever his rookie year, his freshman year was, how much of a passer he's improved is almost insane. And then you just get to the league and they stop doing that. And now you wonder if, atrophy is a good word. Has it atrophied off, But not ideal. They appear to think it's the right way to do it, man. It's the right way to do it. So I don't know. It's tough to argue with at this point. But if it doesn't work out, we know where to point. I'll say that much.
How about this, man? Now, let me ask you this. Hurts has missed 7 football games heading into this year. You think he's getting too beat up?
No, but I think the rest of the team is. You got offensive linemen banged up all throughout. A.J. Brown now, he's fine. He's been fine in the year, but a lot of those guys, Jalen Carter, a lot of the guys on the defensive lines, I don't know. I mean, you wonder if this brand of football that they've played through last year is, does lead to a little bit more strenuous on the body. I mean, a lot of people have made this comment, and
window.
I kind of agree with it though. Like Cam Jurgens and Landon Dickerson, they sacrificed their bodies for the Super Bowl last year, and now they're not the same player right now. It doesn't mean they'll never get back to that point, but they are clearly still recovering from the way the Eagles played football last year. They are,
completely.
So you look at that.
Remember what Lane said a couple weeks ago when he goes, "I feel better than I felt in the last 3 years." It's taken him 3 years to get back to health. And now all of a sudden he's back to being injured again. It takes time, Xander, to get back to health here. And these 2 players right now are struggling. Landon Dickerson and Cam Jurgens are struggling. Now,
they are. For you here. Look at Chris. He says, when do we get to talk about the unprecedented winning? Chris, we talk about it every day. What are you talking about?
No, the unprecedented winning streak is the only reason you're not going into a forest fire right now.
I personally believe that we're skating on thinner ice than we were last year. I know people keep telling me that we had a small margin because they're not running the ball successfully.
Okay.
So if you're going to play this brand where you like don't try and push the ball in the air consistently, the only way to mitigate that or to manage that is to run the ball like they did last year. And they did it so good last year. They literally set history in the 100-year history of this league, or however many years it's been. I think it's been over 100 now. Literally, they set history with the most rushing yards in a single season, including the playoffs. So you don't have that this year. Are they going to be able to play this same brand and go and win again? I guess some people think they can. I don't think that.
You're counting on the defense being a top 5 defense too.
Well, the other thing I'm counting on, which they do deserve the benefit of the doubt on, is when they need to turn it on, I do still have confidence that they'll be able to, because they've been able to do that. You know, even last year when there was games when Saquon didn't quite have the run, the Super Bowl, like we were able to turn it on, you know, and win the game that way. We didn't win the Super Bowl by running. We got to the Super Bowl by running, but we didn't win that game by running, you know. So I do remain optimistic that when the time comes, they'll be able to do it. But you are kind of, I think each year that layer of ice gets a little bit thinner, you know, because it's like you said, you're not using it. You're not, you know, helping water it. You're letting it atrophy a little bit.
Okay. Do you think the Rams have closed the gap? I think the Rams have closed the gap. I think they're right there with you.
I do, but I mean, if you're going to tell me, everybody.
I didn't say I am not giving them the benefit. I'm not. I'm saying they're right there, though.
They're right there, sure. I mean, there's a lot of teams that are right there. The Lions are right there. The Packers are right there. The Rams are right there.
I think the Lions. I think if I had to pick teams in the NFC that were close to the teams in the NFC, would be Bucks, and Rams. I mean, Packers. Bro, they couldn't beat the fucking Browns.
I think the Packers are better than the Bucks.
No, I don't.
I trust Baker Mayfield more than I trust Jordan Love, though.
Yeah, I mean, and for me, I trust Todd Bowles more than I trust Matt LaFleur not nutting up.
Yeah, well, that's for sure.
Okay, that's I mean, sure. How about this one? What anybody ever go over to Devontae and ask him how he feels about any of this shit? I mean,
he's not happy. Didn't you see the video of him walking off the field?
I did. I saw that.
I'm not gonna, it was just a video of him, and he didn't say anything or anything, so I'm not going to speculate too hard on it. But yeah, I don't think he's happy. But at the end of the day, Devontae's never going to be the guy that gets to the media and bitches ever. Never.
Okay, so I mean, the bitching is leadership in your eyes?
Well, when you have a team that doesn't, you know, Jalen is more reserved. Devontae's more reserved. Saquon doesn't strike me as a guy that's going to come out and now maybe he would. Saquon's a little bit more vocal. Maybe he would say something if
he's more articulate in the way that he's articulate in the way he comes out, and if he has an issue on something, he is.
Yeah, he is. Yeah, I mean, I do think AJ spoke for more. Like someone said this morning in the chat that AJ is risking damaging the locker room, and I'm like, I don't think so. I think this locker room agrees with him. Now, maybe they don't agree with the way he did it going to social media. Maybe they don't agree with that. But I think when you take that out of it for a second, because that's like criticizing AJ. Let's talk about what AJ is actually talking about. I think most of them agree with him. Honestly, I do. I think Devontae agrees. I think to a large extent, Jalen Hurts agrees. That's why you've heard him at times break character and say, "Straight jacket. Let's play like this. Stop playing to lose." You know.
So let me ask you something there, and I'll put your business in it.
Uh-oh.
So do you like when Bob Lane calls you about Dan Sileo complaining to you? Okay.
I love it.
Maybe that's a bad one.
But it makes me feel alive, baby.
My point is, do you like to have other people's bullshit that you have no control over being brought on you when you got more important things to worry about, running a business, being able to do things? Do you really want to take care of one person's bullshit versus taking care of your ultimate dream of your business and making sure your business has the priority of making sure you want to have success? If you're in a locker room and you're sitting there and a guy and a reporter comes up to you and says, "What do you make of AJ?" The same thing that people probably are right now with this. I'm fucking sick and tired of talking about this bullshit. Why don't you ask me about the fucking Broncos?
Part of life, dude. It's a part of life. Anybody that's in any form of leadership, it doesn't matter if it's a family. You're a father. Has your daughter, who you love with all of your heart, ever put you in a position where you're like, I don't want to deal with that, but I have to deal with that right now?
Never.
Yeah, it's part of life. I'm sorry, but you're a leader. When you're a leader, there's things that come up that you can't predict. It doesn't follow a perfect schedule.
So as a leader, I'd want to put my bullshit on you?
I'm not saying you want that, but it's just a part of the job. I mean, it's a part of the gig. And by the way, I think just because it doesn't look like somebody might not want it to look, I don't think AJ was completely leaderless in doing this. I think he was in many ways a leader. Sometimes when you're a leader, I'll just use like take like a political leader or any leader. It doesn't matter what it is. Sometimes a leader in any realm has to do things that upsets a lot of people in order to do something for the good of everybody. Even if that everybody doesn't think or doesn't agree with what the leader's doing. That's part of being a leader. You have to discern and make those decisions. So AJ does something that might piss off Jalen Hurts, might piss off Nick Sirianni, might piss off Bob Lang, might piss off some people in the locker room, but then you have 10 other guys in that room, offensive linemen, Devontae Smith, Dallas Goedert, who are like, thank God AJ said that. It might have sucked for 3 days or 4 days in the media, and we might have had to put out fires or have some conversations as a team, but at least now we all have been able to air out what we really want to do, talk about it, and get closer to that end goal. I really think that's part of being a leader. It's a tough part of being a leader too.
Why can't you have a team meeting and do that behind closed doors with your team?
You can, but that's why I think this is where I think the conversation about why he didn't do that comes into play. And that's when I read into what he posted. Because if he just posted this offense sucks or we need to be better or whatever, you could easily say that. But the fact that he decided to post what he posted insinuated to me he tried to do this behind closed doors. And then I went back and I listened to week 1, week 2, week 3, when AJ spoke after the game. Every single game, he didn't sound an alarm, but he said, we're working toward this. We have to be better at this. We have to try and do this. This is something that we're still figuring out. He's been saying subtle things that this offense needs to click better, needs to push itself to reach its potential. And that's why when he posted that, I'm like, they're not listening to him. In fact, they're disregarding what he's saying entirely, and he took it personally and said, if you guys don't think we need to fix this, that's fine. I got a C on my chest too. I think we got to fix this. And if you don't want to hear me in the team meeting or wherever behind closed doors, I'm going to make this a whole stink.
Okay, well, this contradicts everything about this bullshit culture of theirs then. This contradicts everything. You don't have an open door policy where I can't give you what you just said it. If they're not listening to me and they're not taking my advice, there's not an open door policy because that's what he's fucking talking about here.
Yeah, but you can have an open door policy and not actually be listening to somebody.
Then you're bullshitting me.
Yeah, but that like just because there's a culture doesn't mean everybody's going to agree with every step of getting to that end result. This isn't one moment. Huh?
You mean he doesn't agree with that?
This is one moment where AJ saw it differently than the leadership did, or than Nick Sirianni or Jalen Hurts did. But when you put a C on AJ's chest and he's as important as he is, he's also emboldened to have his opinion. If that opinion's not being heard, then he went about different ways to get, the people he's leading to see his point.
Okay.
Again, people don't like it, but it is what it is. I don't have a problem.
Okay. To what you just said, here's the polar opposite. Hurts, when asked if he has extra conversations with AJ, which means what we just talked about, trying to go behind the scenes and have conversations with the leadership of the team, with Hurts, the coach. Jalen Hurts says, we're just focused on the work. That doesn't sound like somebody who's focused on working on something and taking an opinion of what he has. That's kind of like I'll take your comments and I'll absorb it, but I'm going to do what's best for the team, in my opinion. Now, hey, by the way, to Jalen Hurts' point, Jalen Hurts can turn around and go, hey, bro, we're fucking winning here. Your way of thinking is it's not conducive to what we're doing. We're winning. You're wrong. Jalen Hurts can look at AJ and go, "You're
The
wrong."
problem with that is that I don't put a lot of stock in Jalen Hurts' media comments, and that's not a knock on him, but that's just his like he's never going to give us stuff in the media. If you want to decipher Jalen Hurts or his meaning on things, you can't listen to his press
So
conferences.
you're saying he's unbelievable?
No, I'm not saying he's unbelievable, but I know he's been taught by Nick Saban, and I listened to Nick Saban for many years of my life. Many years of my life. And I know that those players, Devontae, Jalen, anybody that came from that school of thought is not going to give you meat on the bone when it comes to speaking to the media. They're not. So I don't use that to give Hurts credit or to take away from Jalen. In fact, I would rescind, because a lot of comments on our segment yesterday, and I would probably rescind some of the comments that I made after re-listening to it myself and just saying, I don't know if I agreed with you yesterday when you said it's on Hurts that, because he won't speak up about the offense. I don't know. I don't know what Hurts does. I know he won't do it in the public, and that's always been Jalen, and I'm cool with that too.
Well, him going public is telling you that he's not doing it behind the scenes either, or he wouldn't have gone public.
Well, you would think that, but I don't know. I'm not going to speculate because I have no idea what Jalen says behind closed doors.
Well, then what do you think?
But I remember this. Jalen did say something a week ago about the offense, didn't he?
He did. But what would spark AJ then to make a giant scene like he has this week? If there were some things behind the scene that the quarterback and the coach weren't listening to him. And personally, that bullshit that he said was a total Bob Lang lie, where he said this, hey, it wasn't directed at anybody in the organization. In my opinion,
that was the most PR part of his comment.
Okay, that was
about somebody.
And not a person on whatever you believe. Nobody believed that. That
was the most fake part.
I'm not going crazy on that. I think AJ Brown's got a problem with Jalen Hurts, and I think he's got a problem with Nick Sirianni. The point being this, though, it's not out of hand, but it's a problem.
No, I don't agree.
It's not. Has he made a problem this week? AJ Brown.
He has. I'm not. That's not what I'm saying, though.
Okay.
I don't see the problem between AJ and Jalen like you're insinuating. I think there's a problem. I actually think this is a good thing, because you have two very different styles of leaders, right? Jalen is more of the show you type of guy. He's not a lot of talk. He's not going to feed into the media. He's not going to do any. You're never going to have a headline that Jalen Hurts stirred up controversy by something he said. It'll never happen. On the other hand, you have AJ, who's a very different style of leader, has a very different thought process and a very different way of doing things. And I actually think combined, it can make for a good setup as long as those two are on the same page. Now, I'm assuming they're on the same page. You're assuming they're not. None of us really know whether they are or not. I mean, look, you're not off base. So what's his name? Mike Florio wrote an article today. The Eagles keep telling us that A.J. Brown and Jalen Hurts get along, but all the signs point that they don't. You're not on an island. You're not the only one that thinks like that. But I think A.J. and Jalen have a very different style of leadership, and I think both of them are valuable. They're very different, but they're valuable in their own ways. And if they use them together correctly, I think it can be a good thing. Now, there's one thing, though, I will push back on that. I think is misconstrued when it comes to A.J. Brown. And I'll find the comment, because it's the legendary M. Reyes, who is notorious for just the shittiest comments in the world. Let me find this comment. But it was basically about A.J. Brown, who, goes to the media to tug on the media because he's not getting his personal targets. And I truly believe this is it. He needed to tug on the sleeve of the public to whine that he isn't getting the ball. It's a bitch move. I'm right. So you're telling me it has nothing to do with the 31st ranked offense in football, and it only has to do with the targets to A.J. Brown. See, that's where I think people are wrong. Does A.J. want the ball? Sure. Is that belief selfish, or is that belief because he's actually the best player on the team, and when you get him involved, that's a good thing for your overall offense? Is it a good thing for the Bengals to throw the ball to Jamar Chase? Is it a good thing for the Vikings to throw the ball to Justin Jefferson? Is it a good thing for any team to use their best weapons?
I think it's bigger than that.
I think it's bigger than AJ personally. This is where I think M. Reyes is selling him completely short. He is saying to us, though, M. Reyes, we are not the 31st ranked offense in football. Okay. 4-0 or not.
I say it's bigger than this and that. Look here, let's Do you think A.J. Brown wants the offense outside of Jalen Hurts? Do you think he wants the offense to go through Barkley or him?
I think that's a tough question.
The approach of winning games. Do you think AJ wants the offense? Let's put Hurts aside.
Yeah, right.
Do you think AJ wants the offense that it did in 22 and 23, went through him, and now in 24 and 25, the offense does not go through him? What do you think he wants to have that offense go through? Barkley or him? You think he's okay with it going through Barkley the way it is now?
I think, honestly, AJ wants the team to be better. And last year, look, selfishly, when
Andrew, that's kind of a lawyer's answer.
No. All right, I'll explain it because you're right. It was a lawyer's answer. But are we going to fall? If I did answer you and say AJ wants it to go through him, some would call it selfish, but wouldn't it also make sense?
Yeah.
Right. Completely. So it's like, I think AJ wants it to go through him because he believes in himself, and he should. But I believe when you win and you have success like they did last year, AJ would be willing to put the team first like he has many times. Like, I think he's been a pretty good teammate for a superstar receiver in a team that runs the ball as much as they do. So it's tough for me to say AJ Brown is, of course he probably wants it to go through him. And by the way, so real quick, let's just keep correcting narratives out here. Sorry, guys. Love all you guys, but I'm taking you to the woodshed. Forrest says total offense isn't 31. Excuse me, Forrest. Total offense is 30. Not 31. It's 30. Sorry, Forrest. Come on, Forrest. 31. It's 30th. It's 30th, Forrest. I think AJ wants it to go through him. But if it was working well, he'd be fine with it going through Saquon. That's what I believe.
Okay. I'll ask you another important question here now. Do you believe that Nick Sirianni and the coaching staff believes that Jalen is incapable of balance on a consistent basis?
I hope they don't think that, because I don't know why they would think that.
I hope not. Oh, no. Do you believe, because their actions, go by their actions, Xander, do you believe that they think that he's not capable?
No, I don't.
Of running up. Well, they're not doing it.
Yeah, I believe I believe that they
didn't do it last year. They're not doing it this year.
I believe they think what they're doing is the best chance for them to win.
Which means that they don't believe in balance. They're not running a balanced offense.
Well, it just means that they believe more in their style right now.
Okay, which is unbalanced.
Right. But it works for them.
They believe the quarterback's not capable.
No, because no. You're looping that in. It's not about the quarterback for me.
The quarterback's the centerpiece of any offense.
I agree with that. But they're not saying, I don't think it's about that they don't believe in Jalen. I think it's just about that they believe limiting the turnovers is the best way to go about it.
Okay, so the only quarterback in the NFL, the coaching staff believes not having a balanced attack and not having a proficient usage of the passing game because they're afraid of turnovers. Turnovers from who? They're not afraid of Barkley's turnovers. They're afraid of Hurts' turnovers. That's a direct slam at Hurts. Xander, when people say this, they're afraid of the turnover. They're afraid of the quarterback turning the ball over. It's one guy. It's no one else. They're not afraid of Barkley putting the ball on the ground. They're afraid of Jalen Hurts putting the ball in the air, which could result, as you said just now, a turnover play. That's an indictment on the quarterback.
I don't see it like that. I'm sorry, I don't.
They're doing this. They're telling you. They're saying they don't want to have high-volume turnover plays, so they're limiting the quarterback.
That's a philosophy, though. That's not necessarily always tied to the belief in the quarterback.
They're practicing that philosophy.
Right, but why does that automatically mean they don't believe in the quarterback?
We just said it.
I know, but believing in limiting your turnovers, those things can be mutually exclusive. Right. They don't have to be tied together.
But they're not here. They don't believe in balance. They don't practice it. They don't use it.
They believe in their style.
which is unbalanced offense.
Yeah, but why? That
Which is
doesn't
a limited
automatically mean
offense.
that they don't believe in the quarterback. Not in my
The
opinion.
quarterback is the centerpiece of any offense.
I
And if they
know.
don't believe in the guy being balanced, the quarterback has to be a part of the turnovers. They don't
No,
want.
I truly don't believe
How
this.
do you
I
not
don't
see?
believe. I don't believe they.
Well, who
I
are
don't
they
believe
afraid of
that.
the turnover play with then?
I know, but this is what I'm saying. I don't believe that they are going into it saying, "Okay, Jalen can't do this, so let's play like this." I don't believe that's the thought process.
Okay, well
I
then,
believe the thought process is this is the best way to win.
okay.
Everything else builds around that. Jalen throws the ball less around that. We put the ball in the tight windows less around. All the things fit into that. I don't believe they're doing this because of Jalen Hurts.
Well, who
Now,
are they afraid
naturally,
of?
it looks like they use them less. But why do you pay a quarterback $52 million? You don't believe
Why are
it?
you paying a wide receiver to be 61st and you're paying him $32 million? I don't know.
It's a good question. But I mean, you never asked me if they don't believe in AJ Brown. You asked me if they don't believe in Jalen Hurts.
Well,
They pay Jalen Hurts.
Okay. Well, once again, with Jalen here, who are they afraid of turning the ball over then? When you say that they're afraid of turnovers, and John says it every morning on
Well, what
the
do you
show.
mean? What do you mean? Who turned it over
Okay.
to the other team?
When they say they're afraid of turnovers, they don't want to play turnover football, right?
Yeah, right. And they're
Well,
trying
who are
to do
they
everything.
afraid of turning the ball over? They give the running back the ball every play, and they run him into a wall every other play.
Yeah, but we all know that throws versus runs are there's a much different probability factor of a turnover based on those two different types of plays.
Correct. So the quarterback, they're more concerned about turning the ball over, throwing it.
Yeah, but you can say that about Matthew Stafford. You can say that about Joe Burrow. You can say that about anything.
Yeah, but those
Joe
guys
Burrow
throw
has
the
a higher
ball
rate
40
of
times a
turnovers
game.
on throws than their running
But
backs
those
do on
guys,
carries.
they don't take the ball out of their hands. They throw the ball 40
because
times.
they can't.
Correct.
We can.
Correct.
To this year, we haven't been able to. This is
And
my
last
whole point.
year.
We're now reaching back the circle is back, and we are closing the circle. This is why I believe the offense has to get better. And I'm sick of people.
The passing game's not going to get better.
And JoJo says JoJo just because he says Xander's becoming a Sileo. And I'm like, all right, but I don't even know what that means. But he believes the 30th ranked offense is perfectly fine. He doesn't think that that's a problem. I think it's a problem. It's an opinion. People don't have to share it with me. I don't think they're going to win this way if they don't get it a little bit better.
And here's why you're dead on what you just said. A year ago, when you were the 29th ranked passing offense, what were the key components that countered that? You were second in running, and you were number one overall in defense. That's the counter to it, where you can win one-dimensionally. Now, when you're I'll tell you this, your defense, how come there's no drama on that side of the ball?
Well, I think the defense is really good. I think they're ahead of schedule. I'm pretty confident in them. But they can't, the offense, this is where, again, it goes back to this as well. How do you help your defense? Last year,
Stay on the field.
Who helped the defense more than the Philadelphia Eagles offense? Nobody. Eagles offense ran the ball. They controlled the clock. They picked up first downs. They converted in the red zone. They did all of these different things that helped the defense become the number one defense in football. Right now, we have a defense that's playing good football, in my opinion, really good football. And you had an offense last week that had 5 straight 3-and-outs, 0 completions in the second half, and 0 passing yards in the second half. It's insane. And that's not a sustainable way to get your defense clicking on all cylinders or your offense clicking on all cylinders. So, again, complementary football. It's a very complementary game, this game. It's a team game. It really is. It's the best part about it. And in order for the defense to get closer to where they were last year, the offense is going to have to take some pressure off them.
Okay.
All right? A.J. Brown said it yesterday.
Okay.
Let's be real. The reason we're winning right now is the defense and special teams. A.J. Brown said it. So for everybody to get mad at me, don't get mad at me. Go say it to A.J. Brown. Save it for A.J. Brown. If you don't believe our offense, our $250 million offense should have anything to do with the wins, I would disagree with that.
So I want to get this right, what you're saying. You're telling me that the coaches are not concerned about the quarterback throwing the ball more, and it's the reasoning is because of the turnovers. You're saying that that's not the case. That the quarterback, if they allow them to open up the passing game, to have somewhat little more of a balanced attack, You're saying that they don't believe that the quarterback's the issue, and that even though they worry about turnovers, you think that's got nothing to do with Jalen.
Well, my point with it is I do agree with that. I agree with that. They do not want to throw the ball more, but it could be any quarterback in there. I don't think it's about the quarterback.
Yeah, but I'm talking about the Philadelphia Eagle offense.
Yeah. So Jalen is naturally the quarterback in there, but I don't think they made that decision because of Jalen, was my point.
Who'd they make it for?
The philosophy.
Oh, so the philosophy is we don't want him throwing the ball as much because
you're missing my point. Like if Josh Allen was our quarterback, now I don't know if it would ever have gotten to this point, but Josh Allen, my point is their philosophy would have Josh Allen throwing the ball less too, because they believe the best way to win right now is to mitigate those turnovers. It's not about the quarterback.
I disagree with that because I'll tell you why.
We can see it differently. You see it more as it's a knock on the quarterback. I don't as much. That's all right.
Okay, well, I'll disagree because last year I saw what they did when they saw that the weapon was Barkley. Hurts was throwing the football at 34, 35 times a game. And then after Barkley started going off, they tampered that down to 30 or tapered that down to 20. They got it down because they thought Barkley was going to be the way to win because the quarterback was limited in the pocket and what he can do. That's how I see it. And that's what they did. If you had a high volume passer in the pocket, I think they're going to adapt to the high volume passer because that's what Nick's background is too.
In some ways you have to, because Tanner can't make plays at Jalen.
Right. And get this, and you have to adapt to the skill set of the quarterback, not to your system. Your system's not going to win it. You're going to tailor those offensive game plans around the skill set of the quarterback.
So I probably went a little extreme by saying they would run the exact same offense with every other quarterback. They wouldn't. They wouldn't because they couldn't. But with this offense as it is right now, with Jalen, they've established that this is more important. But the reason I push back and say I don't think they're doing it because they don't believe in Jalen. I don't. I really don't. I'm sorry. In my heart, that's not what I believe. I believe they are so committed to this style that Jalen is naturally, taking stray bullets because of it, but they more believe in this system than they don't believe in Jalen. Does that make sense?
Because of the 20-1.
Yeah. But again, I said this yesterday too.
Do you think they think the quarterback's limited passing the ball?
Every quarterback's limited.
Okay. Do you think Jalen Hurts is limited passing the ball in the pocket?
It's not Jalen's number one skill set for sure. Everybody would agree with that.
And we would go like this. He's got other tools in the box where he can take off running, gives him more variety. He's got more variety.
He's got a different skill set. Exactly. He's got different skill set.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. So that's why they limit the passing game. And they limit the offense. They limit the offense. Xander, do we think this is a high complex offense?
No, it's not.
Well, why would that be? Because you know why it's not high complex? Because it's not a complex pocket offense. It's not a pocket presence type offense. Most of the offenses in the NFL are too complicated. Like the John Gruden fucking complicated. Is
it weirdly genius?
What's that?
Is it oddly genius?
Yeah, in a way it is.
Because me and John
get this. You've limited the pocket. You've limited the offense. The quarterback excels in that, and it's brought out the best in the quarterback being in a limited offense.
Right.
People don't want to hear that.
In a way, it's interesting.
The truth.
In a way, it's interesting because you have 31 other teams
who can't figure that out.
Think of it like that meme where everyone's in line in one same line, and then there's one guy over in the other line. It's like the Eagles have created their own lane, and everybody else is over here. It's like, how can we get marginally better at the same brand of football? Well, one guy brings in motion. One guy has a better play caller. One guy has a better quarterback. And everybody's like, okay, how can we get better over here? Meanwhile, the Eagles aren't even playing this game that everybody's in, right? They've said, fuck that game. And then they're over in their own avenue, in their own area, and just saying, all right, y'all keep trying to improve your passing games. Y'all keep trying to do all those different things. We're just going to not turn it over, and we're going to keep winning. I don't know. It's weirdly working. But I do think we're playing with a little bit of fire. I appreciate the method, but I do think eventually you're going to have to move the ball a little bit because your defense, look, it's you can't do this to your defense for 17 games, man. It's too hard. We've already done our defense has already done exceptional things for this team with an offense in 2 of the last 4 halves of football that haven't been able to move it at all.
It's Chip Kelly-ish. You're leading the league. Okay, you're leading the league in 3 and outs. If you lead the league in 3 and outs, you're putting your defense back on the football field, and guess what? You're going to be driving your guys to the IR on that side of the football. You're already seeing injuries at your edge right now.
I'm worried about the health of the team right now a little bit.
You know where you should be worried about it down the line? The defense. Because if they can't figure this out, dude, your defense is going to get worn out because get this, you're leading the NFL in 3 and outs.
Yeah.
Boom, your defense is back on the field, poor field position. Your defense is back on the field, poor field position. This is the war of attrition, dude. All right. For a breakout game on Sunday. By the way, we're going to read all your super.
Yeah, we should do them soon. We got Cole coming up. Good though.
Who has the breakout game? AJ, Devontae,
AJ Brown. AJ Brown. AJ Brown's going for 150 this week.
So much. What? Going for what?
150.
150 against Patrick Surtain?
Yep.
Does that mean Hurts goes for 300?
Yeah, baby. They're going to do it for 1 week. They love doing that. They love giving us the little tease. They love saying, we'll show you just a little smidge, maybe even just a half of football sills, and that might be all we get. But there will be an offensive explosion, at least for a half of football.
You hear what he's saying, folks?
That's my bold prediction for the week. All right?
All right, you hear what he said? They like to give you a cheap feel every now and then.
Yeah.
Is that what
Exactly. Yep. They like to give you a little bit.
Little bit, right? All right.
So I got AJ Brown going off.
What's that mean?
150.
150 yards. Does Hurts go for 300?
Maybe a tutty or two.
Does Hurts go for 100? For 200? I mean, 300?
Nah. 222.
So you're telling me he beats Patrick Surtain for 150 yards and 2 touchdowns?
What did Devontae have on Surtain when they first played off?
That was in 21.
Yeah, 21.
Yeah, there was no AJ then. I mean, there was no.
Surtain was a different player. He was a rookie that year.
There was no Saquon then, too. Let's read these supers, my friend. Jesus, Brimini.
Well, who you got? Who you guys a breakout? You got Saquon this week?
125.
Michael Robinson says the OC just sucks at tailoring the offense to Hurts' strengths.
No way. I think he's tailored it perfectly to his strengths.
Steichen adjusted his offense to his strengths, and he had an MVP runner-up. Stop fitting a square peg into a round hole. The OC sucks.
Okay, 20-1.
20-1. He's 4-0. That's not true.
He's 4-0, and he's beating the Bucs, the Rams, and the Chiefs
with the 30th ranked offense in football. And your star receiver just told you the only reason they won the game is because the defense.
And last year you had the 29th ranked passing game, and you had the number 2 running attack.
Right. Well, right now,
I get it.
Okay, let's rattle it off.
So he's off to a better start.
Total offense 30th, passing offense 31st, running offense 16th.
Correct.
Scoring offense, we are 7th. Red zone offense 1st. Third down offense, we are 8th. How's your offense stats?
Okay.
They're they're 16th in running and 31st in passing and 30th overall.
We're showing turf.
Stop. Uncle Nate says, all the times Jalen stood up in the pocket, he got creamed. I don't think it's all on Jalen. It's the offensive line, too. I agree. It is some of the offensive line for sure.
They've played poorly this year.
Yeah.
For their standard. Hey, in the NFL, though, Uncle, they're better than 80% of the offensive lines, to John's point. But to their standard, they have not played well.
AJ Brown will dominate this weekend. Michael Robinson. What's up, Michael? Appreciate your supers, brother.
1 catch, 9 yards, and a blow up on Monday. And
I want everybody to think about that. I want to start doing
and you win. And you win, and he blows up still on Monday.
No. It's a philosophical thing, not just quarterback. They drill forcing turnovers on defense and ball control on offense. From what I hear extensively, everyone. Yeah, John says the same thing. John said all the teams he's covered in his life, he's never seen somebody work on ball control, ball security in practice, and punching out more in practice. They're
Patriots.
obsessed with the philosophy. That's why I said I don't think it's all about doing.
Hey, Patriots did this. You couldn't do this with the Patriots. Check this out. You got near the goal line, no reaching for the goal line, 2 hands on the ball. This is all Patriots kind of bullshit.
So, are you preying on our downfall?
No way. Are you kidding me? This is too much drama. I love it. Why would I want you to suck? What, cover the Cowboys and be what?
Well, we're never going to suck. We're never going to suck.
Correct. Why would I want to cover Mark Holmes' Cowboys?
They're the number 1 offense in football right now.
Great. And get this, they're 30
Shows
seconds.
you how empty the stack can be, too.
Wait. No. You know what the problem is? They're number 1 in offense. Take a look at where they are defensively, total defense. They're 32nd.
Are they?
Yeah.
Their defense is bad.
So they're number 1 in offense. Fantastic. They're 32nd in total defense. All right.
Well, would you rather be 1 in offense and 32 in defense, or 30 in offense and 22 in defense?
Well, I'll just say I'd rather be the Eagles.
4-0.
Because
Ryan Plum says, right? Jalen Jordan wants all the credit, sir. Y'all can't convince me otherwise. Tanner is among us.
Oh, my God.
I don't agree with that at all.
Oh, man.
Everything Jalen Hurts has ever said or shown has been the opposite of that. Now, he will naturally get more of the credit because he's the quarterback, but, I mean, Pump, be real. That's not true. Seriously, you've covered Jalen since he came into the league. Do you get this vibe from him?
No.
Maybe you do. I don't know.
No. What I get from him is that I think when you get paid $50 million, Boomer Esiason said the most important thing on this program about being a $50 million quarterback, you got to learn how to play with the contract. And playing with the contract means what you said about playing politician, which means this. You got to kiss AJ's ass a little. You got to kiss your boss's ass a little. And you got to keep it kind of in the middle a little bit. And you've got to be a politician. Remember Boomer saying that? You got to learn to play with your contract. And that's playing with your contract. You can't just kiss your player's ass and not be part of the organization's philosophical way of an approach, right? And I think that's what he's done. And you know what that does, though? I think that rubs your players the wrong way because you're not all in on them. He's not all in with them. If he was, he'd be demanding more of the control of the offense. He's okay with running and throwing offers. He's okay with offers in the second half if they win.
Yeah, well, they're winning. At the end of the day, it's a tough
I
said earlier on this program that it's actually a good balance between AJ and Jalen. Because Jalen's reminding everybody we got to keep winning. And AJ's reminding everybody we got to keep striving to be better. Because this isn't where we should just, remain. I think it's a good balance, actually. But maybe I'm too optimistic or Eagle guy. I don't know. Who knows? Matt says they're clearly trying to limit turnovers. They don't. Matt, by the way, thanks for the $20, brother.
Yeah, very
thank you, man. I appreciate that. They're clearly trying to limit turnovers. They don't want Hurts to be Allen and Herbert. Stats, but no wins. Ints kill teams. Still need balance. They're castrating the passing game. In my opinion, lean into the guy screaming for the ball.
Well, they're not going to do that.
They are castrating the passing game, though.
Oh, they've done it since a year ago.
Yeah. That's definitely what's happened here.
Remember I said yesterday, Kellen Moore didn't do anything for the passing offense. He's actually regressed it. And now they hired what? Kellen Moore 2.0. So now we have what? Kellen Patullo? We got Kellen Patullo.
Kellen Moore is a head coach now.
Thank you, Saquon.
Stephen Mosteller, what's up, brother? They don't believe in a Super Bowl MVP. That's what I'm saying. That's just stupid.
Okay. Well, then why don't they do it?
They believe this philosophy over that. Khaled says, I thought Jeffrey Lurie wanted the high power off. That's why I said, Khaled, I said this morning on Bird 365, man, would I love to talk to him. Jeffrey, you're winning a lot. Congratulations on all your success. Are you comfortable with having the 30th ranked offense if you continue to win? I'd love to hear what he would say because Khaled, he's famous and notorious for we beat the Packers in Green Bay under Doug Peterson era in Lambeau Field on a tough Thursday night game, I believe it was, or a Sunday night or a Monday. It was a primetime game in Green Bay versus Aaron Rodgers led
It was Sunday night.
Packers. It might have been Sunday night. And they called Doug Peterson into the office. This was widely reported, and grilled them because they ran the ball too much. They won the game.
I'll tell you what I'll do. Next Tuesday at 3:30, I'll ask Doug that question for you. How about that?
That would be a great one. I'm so excited for him to come on here.
He is coming on.
Murdum, I don't know how to pronounce that. He says, the coach ain't listening to Jalen either. I know. That's what I was saying. I think Jalen's on AJ's side. He just has such a different way of leadership. He's not going to break character. He would never do it like AJ. But I think this might have been a good thing to do it like AJ.
There's Doug Peterson right down there, man. Look at this here. Check it out here. You'll love this, Xander. Okay, I'm gonna put it over so I know you don't see the number there. But check it out here. Let me go. You're gonna love this, dude. This is what he said about coming on. I said everyone is very excited about you coming on, and everyone's really cool and juiced up about you coming on here. So
tell them that don't tell the Eagles organization. 3:30 Tuesday, like beautiful. Doggy P. Mac is open, says.
What do you think he's going to say about the development of Jalen Hurts?
I don't think Doug is going to. Oh, I think Doug would have developed Jalen better than all of them, personally.
Would they have let him?
I don't know. I can think back to Jalen Hurts' rookie year, and I'm drawing on my memory here on the fly. I want to say it was versus the Cardinals, Arizona Cardinals. It was his second or his third game starting in his career in football. Carson Wentz was benched at this point. Last 4 games of the year, we had registered 2 or 3 or 4 wins on the year by this point. We were obviously one of the worst teams in football. Jalen threw for 300 plus and 3 touchdowns, I think, at his rookie year. And this is getting drafted after being a guy who was talked about that he couldn't throw. He wasn't a good thrower of the football. And that's what Doug had him doing his rookie year. 5 years later, where would Jalen and Doug be together? I'd be lying if I said that wasn't something I've thought of often.
Threw for 338 yards and 3 touchdowns in that game. And he also in that game ran for 63 yards and a touchdown.
Wait, what was it?
In that game, he threw for –
Was that right, though? It was the Cardinal game?
It was a Cardinal game. He threw for 338. He was 24-44 for 3 touchdowns, and he had 63 yards rushing on 11 attempts.
So he had 400 total yards of offense with Doug Peterson in his second or third game starting ever.
They had 422 yards in total offense.
I don't remember. I legitimately can't think of another time that Jalen's had 400 yards of offense.
Yep, that's what he did.
Doug had him doing his first year.
Kyler Murray had 406 in that game, if you want to go there too. I mean,
so that was a bad defensive game, it appears.
Yeah, but I mean, dude.
Wait, let me finish these because we're gonna have J. Cole coming up here. Jason Cole. Max says, would you say the Eagles are holding back their offense to explode again in the playoffs like last year? I think that's optimistic way to look at it, but I mean, I would hope it's true, but I don't know.
No, they're not doing that.
I knew so.
You don't have people bitching the way you do right now if you're holding stuff back.
JD3 says some poor guy in Cleveland worked his ass off 20 plus years of integritable and honesty, reporting for the love of the game, just to be mimed by a 5th round, 3rd string rookie. Legendary.
Dude, how about that whole thing with Shedeur Sanders?
Hey, listen, if he's going to do stuff like that, he's going to have to understand that the commentary that's going to come with it.
Yeah.
Part of it. People will take that as childish. People will use that against them, whether they're right or wrong, whatever. I'll let everybody else decide that on their own time. Kyle says, Sills, the reason most people watch this show, we already got that one. Kimberly, by the way, I wanted to thank you for your super chat, Kimberly. That's really awesome of you. And happy anniversary. Let me get one more here. Christopher says, y'all think Nick believes he could win with any quarterback?
I think the Eagles believe that because they have.
Right. They swapped Wentz out like he was a bag of peanuts.
Right. They won with Foles.
$30 million dead cap hit. They didn't even care.
They didn't care.
And by the way, they got proved right because they went back to another Super Bowl
That's
and
right.
won with a different quarterback. So
that's right.
maybe that is the thought process. I'm not sure what Nick believes, Christopher. I'm not sure. Part of me would say no, but who knows?
We got him?
We got them all.
All right.
Good show, man. Thank you, bro.
I appreciate you, brother. We will catch you in the morning on Birds 365.
Later, Big Sills. Appreciate everybody. Hit that like button, guys.
You got it, my friends. You know what? Before I bring Jason Cole up here, I'm going to ask him what he thinks of Doug Peterson, because we're going to get Doug Peterson on next Tuesday. You think he ever gets another opportunity at coaching? We're going to have him on at 3:30 next Tuesday. We're going to talk to Dougie P and get his opinion. Without further ado, our Hall of Fame voter, our friend who always takes time for us. We love him very much. He is Jason Cole, and he joins us right now here. And we appreciate it. What do you think? You think Doug ever gets another opportunity, Jason, to coach in the NFL again?
Well, he's out of it right now, right?
Yep.
He's got to get back in as an offensive coordinator with a good team. His best opportunity is to get back to working for Andy Reid. I kind of don't see that happening. Nagy would have to leave. And I don't think Nagy's getting an opportunity anytime soon. So I'm going to say no. And I like Doug. I think Doug's a good coach. I think he got, maybe a little bit of the short end, but I think he has to kind of recreate himself. Guys who fall out, after a second time usually have to do something to fix the reputation. Especially when you're giving Trevor Lawrence, and the interpretation is that you should have turned him into a superstar, and not the interpretation that maybe isn't a superstar, has to sort of pull himself out.
All right. So, Jason, what do you make of this A.J. Brown? What do you make of this A.J. Brown and the Philadelphia Eagle drama going on? You're 4-0. Why are you bitching? Tell me what you make of it.
AJ Brown wants the ball, right? AJ Brown always receivers don't feel like they're part of it unless they touch the ball. Receivers are oftentimes two guards in basketball. Understand my mentality. We're trying to say guys who are off guards in basketball have to touch the ball to feel like they're wanted, to feel like they're needed, to feel like they're part of the game. They have to score. It's very rare that you get guys, especially in this era when the ball is thrown around so much, where they're happy if they're not getting the ball on a consistent basis. That's just the way it is.
Do you think that Jalen Hurts is overrated? He's 31st right now in passing. They were 29th a year ago. Last week they were 0 for 8.
Well, how's he? Let me ask. Whoa, let me ask a question. How do you rate him? Where do you put him? Are you talking about putting him in the top 5 quarterbacks in the league? Are you talking about putting him in the top 10 and he's edging towards the top 5? Because I can believe top 10 edging towards top 5, but he's not a good enough passer. Like, he's not Patrick Mahomes, even though he's beaten Mahomes and almost beaten him twice. He's not Mahomes in terms of that kind of arm talent, right? He's not Joe Burrow in terms of that kind of arm talent. He's not Josh Allen in terms of that kind of arm talent. He's probably not even Lamar Jackson in terms of arm talent, because Lamar's done a lot to improve himself. But within the function of how their offense works, he's great. Like, they want to run the ball, they want to run the ball, and he's basically a big time runner and quarterback, right? Because he's their short and needs quarterback, right? And he wants to reference nobody's. You know what I'm saying? Like, you took a power and you put it.
Hey guys, let's see if we can reconnect here with Jason. Here, we're having a tough time, and seeing if we can reconnect here with him here. Hopefully, we can here. But I asked the question because that's the conversation now going around about: is Hurts overrated as a passer? And my conversation that I had with Xander is to this point. If you guys keep telling me that he is good, why are they not using that skill in your offensive approach? Again, you see this? Here's my retort. Then why aren't they throwing the ball? If he's not, why aren't they doing it? Because they're afraid of the turnover. Well, they're afraid of the turnover of the quarterback throwing the ball. There's no other way around it. And here's what I'm going to ask Jason and why I asked that question. Let's bring him back here. Jace, the reason I asked that question was they don't throw the football. They're now the 31st ranked offense. They're afraid of turnovers, so they don't throw the ball. Either they don't believe in him, or either they're in a position where the Eagles, again, believe that Barkley is going to be the one to carry them back to the Super Bowl. What if he's so good, why aren't they throwing the ball more?
Well, again, he's not a pure thrower. Like you guys, I mean, like his talent is not measured in in being a classic passer. Like this is where modern football is changing, okay? And that is you take a guy who's got some running ability and you make the system work for him. Right? And again, like I say, Jalen Hurts is your power back. Like he's your classic fullback that you bring in on short yardage, who also has the talent to run the ball, right? And he's almost better running it than he is throwing it. So you still need to but the thing is, you still have to have really good wide receivers. They're going to buy into, that you have threats on the outside. It's like, which coach said this week, AJ Brown is the most important guy to stop. He is the most important guy to stop because you got to make sure that he doesn't hurt you over the top, because you got to cheat in. You got to find ways to stop AJ Brown while also playing at least a 7-man and sometimes an 8-man front, right? Like you got to take that away, because if you're going to try and take away Barkley or you're going to try and take away Hurts, you got to play more guys up, right? So A.J. Brown is really critical to what they do. So is Devontae Smith. He's critical to what they do. So is the tight end. They have a really perfect offense. The only problem that you have is that these are human beings who are playing. They're not chess pieces. Okay? They are human beings who want to touch the football. They're human beings who, that's what makes them feel good inside. It makes them feel like they're contributing. So it's hard to sometimes put away, and we can call it, that they're being, greedy or, selfish or whatever you want to call it. But the truth is, when guys play, they want to touch the ball. And I understand where A.J. Brown is coming from, but he at the same time, like, you got to do what's best for the team. And sometimes you got to shut your mouth. And we'll see if the tension solves itself. Do you understand what I'm saying?
Yeah,
if he makes too big of a snit out of this, it may be time to say, hey, we'll find another guy. It's not worked, and right now it's not working.
Jason, couple last ones here for you. So do you believe that the Eagles are coaching him correctly and developing him correctly based on what his skill set is?
Who's he? Which guy?
Jalen Hurts.
Yeah, I think they use him. They won a Super Bowl. Like, the point is to win. The point is to win games. Your legacy is determined by winning games. Your legacy is taking advantage of what your talent is. And this is his talent. He's a unique player. He is never going to be a pure drop back thrower. He is going to have moments where he looks great as a drop back thrower, especially when you're forcing the defense to play the run as much as you possibly can. He's going to look awesome. He's going to, there are going to be games like in the Super Bowl. He looked like a superior passer. He's not a superior passer if you really understand the game, but he's a superior passer if the defense has to sell out to stop the run, and that's what's going on. If that makes sense, like it's all it's all balance. I mean, Peyton Manning ran one of the greatest offenses of all time, right back in Indianapolis when he had Reggie Wayne and Marvin Harrison, Edgerrin James, Dallas Clark, right, in a good solid line. Okay, and you know what? They ran about 4 plays. Right. And this is a little bit different situation, but it wasn't complex throwing. It wasn't, let's do all this amazing read and all this other, like that wasn't what it was. It was they came to the line with 4 plays and it was like, okay, defense, who do you want to take away right now? Because whoever you want to take away, fine, I'll give it to the other guy. That's what real quarterbacking is about. And so, Peyton is like a special thrower. Don't get me wrong. He put the ball in places that were amazing, but he was running a very simple offense with really talented guys. The most complex that Peyton ever had to play was the last couple of years in Denver when things started to fall apart, especially that Super Bowl year when it was like, look, dude, you got 2 throws to make all game, and you got to make the right choice of what play to get in and keep us out of trouble. That was the genius of Peyton Manning at the end of his career. 2 very different quarterbacks, depending on where you were in timeline. Jalen Hurts is not that guy, but Jalen Hurts, when you're forced to play 8-man fronts against him, is a terrific thrower. When you're only playing 7-man fronts and he's faking a handoff to Saquon Barkley and you're playing man coverage where you turn your back on him, good luck, because he's gonna roll over you as a runner.
Absolutely.
And it's like, right, like that's, to me, and it's like, I don't know what else you have to develop. I don't know what else you have to make him, because I don't think you can ever make him, like, he's never going to feather the ball into tight spaces the way that other quarterbacks do. That's not his talent. Don't ask him to do that.
I've got 2 questions for you on the Hall of Fame, and I've got 2 questions on you on the senior nominees. And I want 2 players here. How come Jim Marshall had to wait until the senior committee when you look at that guy playing on one of the greatest defensive lines in the history of the NFL and one of the greatest players of all time? Why did Jim Marshall have to wait until he gets to the senior ballot? Come on, Jason, he's a Hall of Fame guy.
I don't know about Jim Marshall.
Wow, really?
I mean, he's got an incredible streak, but the game in the 70s is not. The game in the 70s was I don't want to say it's easy to play defense, but it was a lot easier to be a dominant defensive lineman in the 70s than today. Okay, because they weren't allowed to block you the same way. Offenses were, you're playing with 40-man rosters, so there's no, 5 wides.
And only 2 Pro Bowls.
Yeah, I mean, he had a long and distinguished career. I am patently against the senior process. I think there's almost nobody who's in the senior process who deserves to get in the Hall of Fame, especially in the rules as they exist today, where we have raised the standard to be so high. So there's not a single guy. I said this during the meeting last time, when not the voting meeting, but we had a different meeting, and the Jim Porter was talking about how important it is to get the very best of the best into the Hall of Fame, and they wanted to make this really truly exclusive, and there was some blowback from a lot of people about how too many guys were getting in the Hall of Fame. And my point was, and I said, very politely, because I don't disagree with Jim, but we played by one standard for the last 12 years, and it seems like we're changing the standard. And so I said, Jim, if your goal is to only put in the best of the best, why are we considering guys who couldn't get in for 25 years?
Yeah.
All right. So, I mean, no disrespect to Jim Marshall. Long, distinguished, wonderful career. But you got to draw a line somewhere. And the line to me is not quite good enough. And there's going to be guys like that. And there's going to be tons of people out there who think I'm a schmuck for saying
So
that.
are you against the senior? Are you against the senior process?
Yes.
Because if they weren't good enough during the writers of that time to go past, now there's all kinds of.
If they weren't, look, you had 25 years to get in. You couldn't get in. There's a line here. And yes, are there occasionally guys who get overlooked who really truly deserve it? And we should talk. I'm not against talking about it. I'm not against, but I'm not against saying, hey, this guy deserves it. But there's not as many guys as you think. It's just not. It's not, I look at who was the big left tackle from the Redskins who I'm not thinking, Joe Jacoby. Right? Like Joe Jacoby, you talk to a bunch of people like, oh, Joe Jacoby's the man and this and that and the Hogs and this and that. And it's like, hey, you talk to guys like Parcells and it's like, well, whatever.
I thought Mark May was better.
Yeah, and Mark May is not a Hall of Famer. I mean, it's like, look, and this comes off the wrong way. I don't want to say the guy's a jag. Like, I'm not trying to say the guy's just a guy. That's not what it is. There's some guys who are really terrific players. And guys I grew up watching. Again, we talked about Harold Carmichael. I grew up watching Harold Carmichael play. Harold Carmichael is one of the first guys I'm like, oh, 6 foot, 7 or whatever it was. And, but you look back at the career and you're going, it just didn't seem good enough to me. And Drew Pearson, like, you go back and you look and you're just like, yeah, there's some moments in there, but it's just not quite good enough. But we're pushing these guys in, and there are other voters who vehemently disagree with me, and that's fine. They're allowed to have their opinion, and I'm not saying that I'm right. I'm telling you this is how I feel. Okay, and if you're going to tell me, if the Hall of Fame is going to tell me we want the best of the best, the cream of the crop, and it's going to be hard for more than 3 or 4 guys in the modern era to get in a given year. If you're raising that standard to that level, if that's what you're doing, then I got a hard time with the seniors. I really do.
I got one last one for you. You covered this team, and I knew him very well. And he passed away a couple of years ago, and I used to be a Pied Piper for him, and I said that I would continue it after his death. That's Bob Kuechenberg. Bob's got 7 Pro Bowls, 2 Super Bowl championships. Was unarguably one of the greatest football teams of all time, if not the greatest football team. And I say that with respect to the fact that he was on an undefeated team, and he won 2 Super Bowls, and he went to 3 in a row. And Kuechenberg, I know the center, Langer, went to the Hall of Fame. And I know that Little's in the Hall of Fame. So there's 2 dudes off that O-line, and plus you got a back that's in the Hall of Fame, a quarterback's in the Hall of Fame, and a receiver off that offense that's in the Hall of Fame. Does he fall in that line where it's just how many could be in there off that offense?
Well, I mean, to put it, I think he's a guy from Green Bay that we put in a couple of years ago, the guard.
Jerry Kramer.
He's better than Jerry Kramer.
He is.
He's a better player. He played in 2 different eras. He survived all the way through the 70s into the passing era. He went transition from
5 Super Bowls.
Kuechenberg was a guy. I'm not sure he's good enough, under this standard. And yes, he did miss the opportunity. And yes, Langer went in when it should have probably been Kuechenberg who went in. That's the shame of it. That's the way it goes. That's one where you talk about, that's a guy who maybe got overlooked. So yeah, this is the one where you hesitate, but he's never had the huge kind of support that a lot of other guys got.
Because Edwin Pope passed away. Edwin Pope was a guy who was a
Edwin pushed really hard for Kuechenberg a lot.
Okay.
It just, there just wasn't a lot of momentum, especially among the older guys. I don't think Zimmerman was a huge fan of him at the time. I don't think that it wasn't personal. He just didn't think he was that good. So there's just some pushback on that. There's some guys who are like, yeah, good, not as great. But I always look at Kuchenberg as a guy who was unique in that he was 7-time All-Pro and basically in 2 different eras.
Yeah.
Because the game changes from when he starts to when he finishes, and the rules change, and he made a transition. But that again, Kuchenberg was never in the room for consideration when I've been a voter.
Wow. Roger Craig, you think he's one?
Nope. Terrific player, and I watched his career. I was got started working in the Bay Area and watched his whole career. Terrific player, not good enough.
Man, Jace, I think you're dead right. My problem is guys like you. Okay, 25 years ago when they played in front of those dudes, if you couldn't convince Paul Zimmerman that you were a Hall of Famer or some of them other guys that were back riding in those days, like Dick Anderson and them guys, and they didn't think you were a Hall of Famer, what changes that fact after a fact you've never seen him play? That what you're going to go back on YouTube and watch? That I don't think that's a good. Well,
the good thing about this is you can do that. You can go back and watch some clips of those guys, and you can see that. And that's the beauty of the era we live in. For most guys, there are some candidates you can't look at. But again, I just come back to we have a lot. It's not because we overlooked a whole era of football players. You have to be really, truly, truly special to get through this process. And if the NFL and part of this is the Hall of Fame. Again, it's a change in the procedure, changes the perception of the guys who can get in. And if you're going to do that, and that's okay, then you better say, I'm not sure there are a lot of old timers who belong in. If you're going to say you want the standard to be really, really high, it's look, Bob Kuchenberg didn't get through that blue ribbon panel. Think about that. He didn't. And so it's what do you want me to say?
No, I mean, everything you have told me about this process and even the new process, I asked Armando on Tuesday. I said, Jason Cole told me it's impossible. He goes, Jason is one of the best people, and he's dead on. He goes, I'm voting for. He told me flat out. He goes, I'm voting for Drew Brees. I said, does that mean Eli's not? He goes, Eli may never get into the Pro Football Hall of Fame until he gets to the senior committee based on what's going on right now. And I'm like, get the hell out of here. He goes, he'll probably get in, but he's going to be a 5th or 6th, 4th or 5th guy because there's a backlog of it right now. And he goes, I'm putting Breeze in. Then you're going to put Roethlisberger in. Brady's coming up. All these guys are coming up here, man. All these great players, Adrian Peterson. They're all coming up.
I'm just telling you, the more obvious first ballot guys, and Drew Brees is one of those obvious first ballot guys. Larry Fitzgerald is an obvious first ballot guy. Jason Witten is a pretty strong first ballot guy. And then you've got Frank Gore, who's got all the numbers in the world. And then after that, let's come back to Luke Kuechly didn't make it last year. Marshall Yanda didn't make it last year. And those guys were better, got more votes and more consideration than Eli Manning last year. So you're telling me that we're going to have Eli not only jump, 3 or 4 guys in this year's class, and then he's going to jump 2 guys from last year's class, and he's going to get in what is, again, if you do the math on how the process works, when you do the math on the process, it's almost impossible to get more than 3 in because the numbers simply don't work. It's not a simple up or down with 5 guys getting 80%. That was pretty simple in the past. You had 5 guys, you vote up, you sit there and go, Yeah, those are the best 5 that we have here. Now you got 7 guys, and that splits up the votes a lot. And when the votes get split up like that, and it's top heavy among a guy like a Breeze and a Fitzgerald, they're virtual locks at 100% each, right? That doesn't leave a lot of votes left for the rest of the guys to get. So that's why I'm saying Eli may be sitting there a long time, man.
Man,
A
I
long time.
can't believe his
A
best shot may have been his first
long
year,
time.
right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Holy cow, Jason. This is
But I look, I say that, and I just tell you right now, I have a gut feeling that the system will change sooner than later. Okay, I just do. I think that the Hall of Fame, and we look, people need to understand the voters don't make the rules.
no, right.
Selectors don't. The Hall of Fame makes the rules, which is fine. Again, I'm one of these voters who just tell me what the rules are and I'll vote accordingly.
Wait a minute. Does the Hall of Fame make the rules, or does the NFL pressure the rules?
The Hall of Fame makes the rules. What the NFL does with them,
the blue ribbon thing was not, come on. That was by the league.
Well, it was I can't swear to that, but I'll just say this. It was I'm not sitting here fighting against your opinion, okay? I can neither confirm nor deny, but I would certainly never.
Okay, Bob Woodward.
Yeah, right. But yeah, I mean, I look. I think that there was some well-crafted considerations that year.
I'll let you go, Jason. Thank you so much, my friend.
All right, dude. See you later.
You bet. The great Jason Cole. We appreciate him so much. Absolutely. I can nor confirm nor deny. By the way, most of you people in here are fucking idiots. He owns a chain of bagel places now in Gainesville. He's got 5 stores. What do you think? He's serving up bagels and lots to somebody? Manon. That's what I did. Hey, Jace, can you get off the line for a minute? Yeah, listen, I know you're serving bagels and lots right now. Hey, do me a favor. Hey, listen, before you bag that up for the company you're working for, can you give a hit for me for the Hall of Fame? That's right. A Hall of Fame guy who owns 5 bagel shops decided to take time, and you guys sit there and you guys are ripping Bagel Boy. I'll make sure I tell him that. Salmon and bagel sounds, it does actually. I'm good with that. Hey, did you hear that though, man? Eli might not get in. Seals, can we get a list of the top 5 defense and offensive rookie of the year? Yeah, I'll get that for us, Kyle. Kyle, I know this, that Mbuka's going to be in the conversation for the offensive rookie of the year. Yeah, so that's what we did. Hey, Jace, can you do me a favor? I know that you're serving bagels to kids there at Gainesville. They're at Florida. Florida. Can you come off the line for a minute? Yeah, we got to do a 25-minute hit. Guys are being ridiculous. I thought he won a bagel eating. Mikey, come on, man. Holy cow. That's what McMullen's going to be doing when Bob Lane pulls. Oh, God. Holy shit. What are you talking about? You guys are brutal, man. I thought he won a big. Let's see here. Eli Manning beat Brady twice in the Super Bowl, remember? Yeah, and I think that a substitute teacher beat Brady also in the Super Bowl. Is that right? Okay. Hey, what's this? McMullen's going to write a book once he's done with his credential BS. McMullen Unlocked is coming. Oh, my God. Can you imagine John telling you exactly what goes on behind the scenes there at NovaCare? Hey, by the way, I know I had a credential. I told you, I showed you. All these credentials. When you have these credentials, and you have credentials like these, and you have like here, my Charger credential for me to be able to go, or my Super Bowl credentials, like my Super Bowl credential. Dude, you got to follow rules. You got to follow rules. I got an all-star one in here too, I think. Let's see. See, look at this. See, here was my San Diego Charger one. I got a bunch of these. See this? That's what it gave me total access to. Press box, post game, field, post game, locker rooms only. Means I had total access. I can go on the field during the game. I could go in the press box during the game. So I had complete access. Okay. Oh, yeah. If I wanted to get credentialed for the NFL, I'm credentialed right now for the National Football League. I'm fully credentialed. I could go into any facility in pro football. Now, the Eagles aren't going to give me one, but the National Football League and Brian McCarthy did. Uncle Sil's big timing. I love it. Let's see here. I'm not allowed to write a book. Somebody came to me a couple of years back and wanted me to write a book. My wife says, I'll leave you. So it's no good. We don't write books around here. We don't have pictures of my wife or I think there's only one picture that's ever been produced of my wife. There's only one of them. She doesn't like pictures. She's like a mafia guy. You know, the scene in the Mafia when the guy gets his pictures taken. My wife grabs a camera, rips it out, steps on it, goes, don't ever do that again. And every time if I do post anything, I get destroyed by my daughter. Okay, right? Jason, much different monetary approach for a media company. Yeah, that's right. Listen, don't get on John. Don't you have to be able to read before you can write? Not in the NFL. This is National Football League, dude. All you got to do is be big sells. Okay? Oh, wow, here we go like this. Dick Train's back. Hey, Dick Track, where you been? How you doing? What are you doing, Dick Track? Appreciate you coming back here, Dick Track. I haven't seen Dick Track in a long time. Dick Track TV. This guy's got a Dick Track TV now. Wow. Wonderful. It's great to see Dick Track back. One of my favorite dicks. Oh, my God. Dick Track. Like Dick Track. I'm a big fan of Dick Track. Come on, Dick Track. So if you got that, why would I want to go to the NovaCare Center to start shit? So you got that leeway. Why don't you go to the NovaCare and ask the tough questions? That doesn't mean they're going to let me sit in front of the podium and ask those guys. They'll make my life hard for me not to be able to get to a Super Bowl. Fuck Bob Lang. I did the same thing with Bob Lang when he was the San Francisco 49ers. You know what I did? You know what my in was with the 49ers? When he was there, he thought he was going to be. You know what this whole thing comes from, don't you? With me and Lang. I went over his head and went to Mr. DeBartolo. Mr. DeBartolo, this guy's an asshole. Can you help me? And they did. And they let me go in. Well, you went over my head. I find that to be, you know, you need a guest. You know that I'm not going to get him on your KMBR show now. I was like this. I'll just go to Mr. DeBartolo, guy. That's not true. You can't ban credentialed NFL people for NFL games. Hey, you doing? Oh, it's all great to see Dick Track, isn't it? Dick Track came out of his basement. Good job. Sills, will you go to any Eagle games this year? Now, listen, I don't want Xander to comment on this. I don't know. Says, I know you grew up a fisherman, but how you bait people with your questions. What are you saying? I don't know what you're talking about, Samuel. Samuel, how dare you suggest that I bait people with my questions? What are you suggesting? That I lead people into a certain trough and I know where I'm leading them? Is that what you're suggesting? Is that I set people up? If you're too stupid to be set up, then that's on you. Tills ain't going in. Hey, here's Lamar. You do. Hey, well, that's why you're in here. Oh, my God. Sills at parade with shaved head. Yeah, okay, right. Don't worry. That ain't happening. No further questions, Your Honor. You're right. He's leading the witness. It's harder being a beat writer for pro sports now than ever before because of social media. In the past, all you had to do was compete against a few outlets. Now it's crazy. J-Mac does. He does. I mean it. For all the bullshit that's going on, J-Mac does it. And I would say this to you about J-Mac. J-Mac is probably as critical as any beat writer that is in Philadelphia, right? Here, look at this guy. All you idiots are jealous. Eagles are 4-0. Phillies all day. They will smash LA. I don't know why I'm sounding like that. I don't know why. Why would I do that? Every time Dick Track comes back, I have this really weird voice. All you idiots. I have no idea why I do that. Here, let me try it again. I'll try to act like a man. Sorry, guys. All you idiots are jealous. Eagles are 4-0. Phillies all day. They will smash LA. Oof. Now I'll do it without doing that. All you idiots are jealous. Eagles are 4. I can't control myself. I'm sorry. Sorry, Dick Stain. I mean, Dick Track or whatever the hell your name is. I hope you have a fun channel, guy. I bet it's a really hilarious time there. Holding Kuyans. You're all just jealous. I can't understand why I talk like that. My team is playing well with crazy drama. I'm so jealous. They're not playing well, but it is crazy drama. Hey, by the way, how about Jalen Hurts? How about what Jason Cole said about Jalen Hurts? Dude, this is the new wave dude. This is the new wave guy, man. And they're coaching him the right way. I get this. That's opposite of what I think, and I like that. Jason's like, they're coach, but it's not really. Because I said this to you guys. They're perfectly coaching Jalen Hurts correct. They're coaching him right tonight or today. They're coaching him right. He's limited as a passer. He's not a great thrower. They don't have a very high complex offense. And he wins. So you think he's Justin Fields? Yeah, right. Right. Justin Fields is terrible. He's got Justin Fields numbers, though, right now. What's my point I was making? Okay? Get this. See this right here? Not limited as a passer. That's fake news. Then why don't they throw the ball more? Go by what M. Reyes just posted. Well, then why don't they throw him more? Why is AJ bitching? Okay. Why don't they throw the ball, and why is AJ bitching? If M. Reyes says that's fake news, why is that? Why aren't they throwing the ball more? If that's fake news, the numbers tell the story. Yes, they do. They throw what? They throw the ball sufficiently. AJ's bitching because they aren't throwing to him. No, they're not throwing to Davante too. You're 30 fucking first in passing, guy. What are you talking about? It's everybody. It's not just AJ Brown. What are you talking about? It's the entire passing game. It's not just one guy. We'll do that in the final segment of the program. What is it? Niners. It's Niners and Rams. Herbert's not playing tonight. It's a moot point. Then why is he bitching? If it's a moot point, why are people complaining? Dude, this guy's a fucking cheerleader. So I think the NFL moves in ways since 2022-23. Teams have learned more on the relied more on the run game, whether it's the quarterback or running back. Sills, we got the take of the week. I like to add the Stunad of the week. Take of the week and the Stunad of the week. Andreas, last in passing, can't argue that. Yes, he can. He'll argue that. We're the best passing quarterback in pro football. You know, that other guy, Dick Track, is, I don't know why I talk like that. And if it's M. Reyes, it's, listen, E-A-G-L-E-S, E-A-G-L-E-S. We have the best passing game in pro football. We can't see E-A-G. My name is M. Reyes. I guarantee you the guy wears a thong with eagles on it. Yeah, that'd be scary, wouldn't it? I don't believe he can't throw. His problem is not playing on time. But that's also what makes him special. What? Not throwing on time? Okay? Perfect sense. Hurts throws the ball better when the box is stacked. He actually throws the ball better when he's up tempo. Oh, my God. Can you? Oh, that would be. I'm sure he's been over there before and won. Guys, it's M. Reyes. See? Yeah. Right? See? I'm a fan. I'm a cheerleader. I think you're right. I do. I think you're right. I think the Bucs are going to go up there. Dude, Bucky Irvin's in a walking boot. Baker Mayfield didn't play or practice these last 2 weeks. Or 2 days, excuse me. Yeah, I think they're going to get beat in Seattle. Sills is correct. Hurts is limited. He will not throw inside the numbers. Doesn't throw with anticipation and struggles against the zone. Yes. The offense is limited to the skill set of the quarterback, which wins. All of this is true. And he wins. Add that onto this, though. And he wins. The less they have of a high-powered offense, the more he's able to run it. Yeah. If the Eagles' offense gets exposed, the Eagles' offense is exposed already. Can't throw the ball. They're not very good in the run game right now. Goddard is injured, isn't he? This offense will be tested against the Bronco defense. Yeah, I'm more concerned about the Broncos proving their point than the Eagles proving their point. We lead the league in passing backwards. You're just hating. Yeah. Funny. Jason, I don't know, Sills. He's in a walking boot. Dude, I'm telling you, man. We've been exposed with this offense since 2023. Yeah, but the only problem is that your running game. Well, let's look at it this way. Miles Sanders had what? 1,300 yards? DeAndre Swift had 1,200? Barkley had $2,000. In the last 3 years, you've had 4,500 yards rushing. This year, you are not very good. You see the difference? You had 4,000 yards rushing in 3 years. This year, you're not very good. Is that right? Well, it seems like Nick is calling the offense again. No. It doesn't matter who the coordinator is. They're not going to bring in a Shane Steichen anymore. They're going to run the ball. As long as Barkley is a Philadelphia Eagle, you're not going to have you're not going to be a passing offense like you were in 22. And how about this? Were you guys a passing offense in 22, 23? What was Jalen's numbers? Was he around 3,800 yards? Let me take a look at something here with Jalen. Let's take a look here. There's Jalen Hurts here. Here we go. Okay. So how many yards did he throw last year for? 2,905? This year he's on pace for 2,500 yards. How is it getting better? And they're not even trying. They're not even trying. Here. 25-88 and 21 touchdowns. I think the Eagles will be fine with that. Barkley's on pace for. What's Barkley on pace for? 1,000 yards, right on the nut. Devontae Smith. Devontae Smith has 158 yards in 4 games. He's on pace for 672 yards. A.J. Brown, what's he on pace for? He's got 151 yards. A.J.'s on pace for 60 catches, 4 TDs, and 642 yards. Yeah, 2,500 yards and no interceptions. Pretty remarkable. That's $50 million. Hey, let me ask you this. Hey, Brian, what I just read you think you're living up to the expectations of the offense? Remember I asked you guys in the offseason? You think you're living up to your expectations? M. Reyes said they were. Someone is sabotaging us. I just can't tell who. Yeah, you can. So you tell me. Remember I asked you, do you think this offensive group, M. Reyes in the offseason, when I asked this question, I said this. Do you think this offense is living up to the full capability of their offense? He said yes. RC3 too. This is the best they can do. Seals, I'm over Dallas Goedert. Absolutely. Told you about being available. This is the same thing. Empty stats? No. I was talking about balance. He's going for the Triple Crown. Who would that be? Yeah, we're unstoppable. Yeah. You look at who? That shit run game of yours? Or that shit pass game of yours? And when the game matters, Puka's going to be taken out of the game because all he throws to. You're talking to about Stafford. Stafford's got a Super Bowl too, dude. He does. Okay. So what did I see Amrez say? He's utilizing the talent. So $200 million. You think you guys are getting $200 million worth of offense? The offense is not on time. That's not true. That's phony news. On time, 0-8 in the second half of a football game in pro football, he says, is on time and firing off as needed. 0-8, 0 for 8 is firing off at all times. I'm done talking to that dude. I've never seen an NFL team in my life not complete a pass in the second half of a game. It's fucking stupid. Only in college do you see that shit. What a stupid man. How dumb are you? Yeah, I'm gonna need to get smart here for a second by not going to him anymore. Seals, our defense and special teams has been saving us. Let's take a look at this. Xander says the defense is playing well. Could play better. I remember him saying that too. So let me go here. First 4 games. Eagles defense in total is 22. Giving up 333 yards a game. A year ago, they gave up 273. Let's see here. It's early. Passing defense, 17th. Rush defense, they're 21st. They give up 126 yards. That's actually come down from 133.5. Scoring, they're 15th. Last year, they were number 1. Red zone 3. All right. Do I think the defense is playing well? I don't think your edges are very good. I think they hurt you in the run game. I think your backers are playing well. I think if you look at the first 4 games, I think Jordan Davis has played well, even though last game wasn't his best. Carter was better last game. Q is playing great ball. DeJean is playing great ball. But Koopa's, he's getting better. I think Campbell's going to be somebody. Bond is great. The players that are really great on that defense. And I would say this, Darius Smith probably played his best game so far. Carter didn't play that much. I thought he was okay, though, when he was in there. Still, Fangio said he didn't feel the edge play was an issue. I thought he was talking more about pass rush than he was about setting the edge. Well, dude, they're running the ball on you somewhere. You're giving up. Last year, you gave up less than 100 yards rushing. You gave up like 90. Now you're giving up 130, 123 yards a game. I mean, if that's the case, where are these teams running the ball on you? You keep, they're saying that the edges aren't the issue. Well, how are they running the ball on you then? And they're throwing the ball on you. Now, again, here's first 4 games. Am I shocked? Am I shocked where they are? I am. I thought they'd be worse. But they're better. because I think week to week they're starting to show signs of getting better. Now, that will go the other way if your offense continues to lead the league in 3 and outs. Remember something here. You're sitting at number 22. I think you were 24 the week before. So you're trending better. You're getting better. You're trending. But what's going to happen is, what's that number that somebody sent me? I think Xander, did you post that? When it came to the amount of 3 and outs? There you go. The Eagles have the most 3 and outs of any football team in the league. Okay? The most. So, yes. Okay? I think Ringo was okay. Oh, here it is. Vikings. Look at the teams, too. The Vikings because of the quarterback situation. The Titans because of the lack of talent. The Bengals, no Burrow. Herbert, that shocks me. The Raiders, it doesn't. The Jets. Steelers with a ton. Here you see why the Colts are winning. Here's why the Colts, Rams. Look at the teams that are like doing very well. I'm shocked with the Falcons in there. That's why the Cowboys are number 1 in offense right now, is because they have the least amount of turnover or third downs and 3 and outs. Eagles are number 1 in the NFL in 3 and outs. That's consistency that we're talking about. Wow. Here's something else that was sent to me that you'll appreciate. That's pretty good there, Xander. Great stuff, man. Xander doing a lot of work here. Win percentage when pressured 20-plus times, minimum 5 games since 2015. Check this out. So, the number 1 quarterback when it comes to dealing with pressure and win pressure rate is Aaron Rodgers by far. Mahomes is second. Prescott's third. Josh Allen's fourth. Justin Herbert's fifth. Jalen Hurts. Here's the quarterbacks. Here are the best quarterbacks since 2015 in win percentage when pressured 20-plus times or more. Minimum 5 games since 2015. Rodgers is the best. Mahomes, Prescott, Allen, Herbert, Andrew Luck, Jacoby Brissett, Matt Ryan, Lamar Jackson, Deshaun Watson, Jameis Winston, Carson Wentz, Derek Carr, Cam Newton, Baker Mayfield, Daniel Jones, Russell Wilson, Ryan Fitzpatrick, Gardner Minshew, Kirk Cousins, Phillip Rivers, Matthew Stafford, Jared Goff, and the worst is Hurts. Since 2015. Seals, it seems like we're losing on first. I think that's because of the run game and the O-line's injuries. How many times did you guys win first and second down? You guys won first and second down big time. Hey, I got to take a time out here. I got to pay some bills. I haven't even taken one yet. Crazy. Hey, Dan Sileo here for Morgan & Morgan, the number 1 injury law firm in all of America, with over $30 billion recovered for clients across the country. One of the top items and number 1 when it comes to Morgan & Morgan is they win for you and your family. Whether you're injured in an Uber, whether you're injured at home, whether you're injured anywhere with insurance companies, again, are making these claims and coming in with these settlements. If you think you've been unjustly dealt with your insurance company, make sure that you do me a favor and you do the biggest decision and the easiest decision you'll ever make. And that is to go to my friends at Morgan & Morgan. Go to forthepeople.com/big sales or pound law 529. That's forthepeople.com/Big Sills or pound law 529 and do me a favor. You tell them Big Sill sent you.
This is Eric. When he got injured in a car accident, he called Morgan & Morgan. He not only gets a lawyer, he gets trial lawyers like Sam and Jessica who are in it to win it. He gets his own investigators with briefcases, leather ones. And if you ever have questions, our customer service folks keep things rolling. Injured? We're your army. Morgan & Morgan, America's largest injury law firm.
Ignite your nights with free live entertainment daily, only at Live Casino and Hotel Philadelphia's Center Bar. 7 days a week, enjoy some of the region's top party bands, performers, and DJs as they take the stage in the heart of the casino action. Great cocktails, live music, and lively moments. It's all happening at Center Bar at Live Casino and Hotel Philadelphia. Visit livecasinophilly.com for more details and the complete list of upcoming events. Must be 21 or older. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
This is Eric. When he got injured in a car accident, he called Morgan & Morgan. He not only gets a lawyer, he gets trial lawyers like Sam and Jessica who are in it to win it. He gets his own investigators with briefcases, leather ones. And if you ever have questions, our customer service folks keep things rolling. Injured? We're your army. Morgan & Morgan, America's largest injury law firm.
Welcome to the Jet Setters and the High Rollers, to the Shot Takers and the Tastemakers. Welcome to the Viewfinders, the Thrill Seekers, and the Night Owls. Welcome to everything you could possibly want on one 5-mile island. Welcome to the Wildwoods. Book your stay today.
In our hometown, we all look out for each other. We go the extra mile to lend a helping hand. We step up to keep our communities going strong. And at Independence Blue Cross, we're here to keep you going strong. We've been deeply rooted in our communities for more than 85 years. And that connection to members has earned us our spot as the #1 health insurer in the region. So while you look out for your neighbors, know IBX is always looking out for you.
Your gut says Miami is going to win and you should take the over. Your gut also said your NFT selfies would only go up in value. They didn't. But your head is on Sports Grid and knows the QB is in concussion protocol. The backup has a 45 QBR against the zone coverage. The New York D has the most sacks in the league. So yeah, trust your head. It's smarter to be on Sports Grid.
EAGLES. Eagles.
Big Sills, please hit the like button. Appreciate you guys very much. You know, one of my favorite things, by the way, Jason Sills, my super chat was up and not acknowledged. Okay, we'll get to you, brother. We appreciate you doing that, and thank you very much. All super chats will always be acknowledged. We will get that up there. Sills, in which creative way would you use Dean? Funny, I just wrote that down with Nakobe Dean on the field at the same time. Every time I bring it up, everyone shoots me down on it. I mean, my problem is this. Your safeties aren't the best. Reed Blankenship is okay. I told you he's replaceable. But Cooper will be okay. Cooper DeJean is exceptional. Why wouldn't you want your best tacklers on the field at one time? So you're going to put Nakobe on the sidelines, right? And what you're going to do is you're going to put a lesser tackler in, like Sidney Brown in situations. That doesn't make sense. But I think a lot of this is going to have to do with personnel and with injuries. I'll tell you this. Reed Blankenship has played himself out of a contract. As of right now, has he not? And I would make this point to you that Jordan Davis has probably played himself as of right now into a contract. See how this stuff, hey, See how this stuff kind of like it as you guys would say, flip-flops? Reed, people were talking $15 million a year in the offseason. I don't think the Eagles would pay that guy $9 million. AJ missed 4 games last year and got $1K. This year he played 4 games. Let's say he plays all 17. He could still get over $1K if he averages 77. Bro, they're not going to average. He's not going to average 77 yards in this offense. Not making 15? Dude, that's why he's hired an agent. Reed Blankenship is not going to be here after this year. They're going to go out and test the market, or whenever he's available to test the market, he's going to test the market. And if I were the Eagles, I would let him. I would make it very clear, hey, we want you back. Go test the market. And if another team pays him $15 million, Eagles will never be in that room. I don't blame him. I don't think he's that guy either. Go play in someone else's system. See how well you play. Now, let me get this. Let me say this to you. That guy does not look. A year ago, I thought Isaiah played well. I liked Isaiah Rodgers a year ago. I did. I thought he was a good football player last year. And I said it all the time. He's a good player, man. And in today's NFL, he's a perfect corner. You don't have to hit anybody. Oh, one of the other things that we brought up, one of the cool things that I love doing is the draft and giving you guys examples. Remember when I told you, remember Devin Lloyd, the linebacker from Utah, and I said that the Eagles should take a look at this guy. This was a couple years ago, remember? Devin Lloyd was one of my guys that I wanted the Eagles to draft. I was so glad to see that he was named the AFC Defensive Player of the Week this week. That Jaguar defense is playing exceptional football. And I'll tell you, Liam Combs got and done a really nice job. And where they're getting better is they're getting better on defense. And here are the Jags right now. Jags have improved. They're 15th in total. Pass defense has to get better. They're 24th. They're 4th in run defense. Front 4 right now. He is balling, man. Absolutely. I see you in there, Samuel. Devin Lloyd has become a great player. And the other player we liked, if you remember, I told you Bijan Robinson would be a guy that the Eagles should take a look at. But they ended up landing on Barkley, which is cool. But he was your NFC Offensive Player of the Week. And he's having another great start. That kid is a really good player, man. I mean, you saw that when he was at Texas, he was that guy. Seals, their nickel is playing the best right now. Yeah, absolutely. Jags look like a formidable team. It's a shame because I want some of their players. Yeah, I know. And Xander's right. Walker is playing really well. They're not moving off of Trayvon Walker. I think they're 3-1. Yeah, they're not moving off that guy. So you got Walker and you got Josh Allen as your bookends? No way. Eagles also have the toughest schedule. Yes, Eagles do have the toughest schedule. Seals, who's looking good in college right now for early picks? That's tough to say right now. We're kind of still in the early part of the college season, and I wrote a list down here. Let me put that list up, and I'm starting to put some of those guys together now, and I think Ruben Bain, in my opinion, the kid from the University of Miami. Now I'm biased. I think Ruben Bain. I think he's the best player in the country. He's an edge rusher. And I believe he's the best player right now that's available. He's just a great looking football player. The kid from Clemson, The D lineman, Peter Woods, looks like he's a good player. I'm trying to think. The kid from Tennessee, that cornerback would be somebody maybe that the Eagles would take a look at. He's a pretty good looking McCoy, I think his name is. I wrote some of these guys down here. Edge rusher, again, you're not going to get the kid TJ Parker from Clemson. Looks like a good edge. There's another kid from A&M. How about this one? What do you think the chances of the Eagles drafting a wide receiver in the first round? Kid from Arizona State. Or Carnell Tate from Ohio State. That kid Carnell Tate is good. What do you think of them drafting a wide receiver? Tell you what, you guys make a shitload of signs on wide receiver. AJ keeps this up. What do you think of their chances are of drafting a wideout? Putting a rookie in the 3-hole, moving off of Jahan Dotson, keeping AJ one more year, and there's your heir apparent when you want to get off of AJ. As soon as you get off of AJ, you move Devontae into the 1-hole, or you move this guy into the 1-hole. Wait a second. We need O-line, D-line first. Why? You just got through dumping Josh Sweat and Milton Williams. They were in their 20s. You just got through you just got rid of a 26-year-old D lineman in Milton Williams. So how is the offense so amazing in the red zone, but so trash because Jalen has the ability to extend, and plus the tush push. The tush push is successful. Third down, you win third down. What is it, 90-some-odd% of the time? Well, you're winning it on the tush push in red zone. Right? The kid from Miami, the offensive lineman, will probably go in the 13th, 14th round. Magawa, not going to land on him. Would the Eagles draft a guy in the first round? The kid from Utah is a pretty good player. Oregon has a guy named Isaiah World who's pretty good. I got a list that somebody gave me, one of the scouts. Alonzo Highsmith gave me this. Highsmith gave me this list of the top prospects. I asked him if he could send it to me, and he did. It's the top 50 kids on their list in New England. C.J. Allen is a linebacker from Georgia. I doubt they go there. O-line, the kid from Penn State. There's a guy there. Auburn has a guard. They might go guard. I can't believe Nussmeier's on this list. The quarterback and the quarterback from TCU is on this list. The highest graded quarterback right now is the kid from Oklahoma. Nussmeier. They keep telling me a quarterback class. Yeah, well, where is it? Dante Moore from Oregon. There's like 5 or 6. So is this lane a lock for next year? And I have questions at right guard. You're going to start the process of moving on from lane. And I would start that process, maybe drafting an offensive lineman, 2nd or 3rd round. We need O-line help. You do. Hey, I'll tell you what. I didn't really think that Becton was that big a loss, but he is. He has been a big loss. Now, I think he's hurt now with the Chargers. Can we bring McNabb back? Tired of Hurts? Dude, McNabb's not the winner, Jalen is. McNabb's a better player, but Jalen's just a better quarterback. There's two different things there when you talk like that and you say that. So we also don't know how career-altering the injuries of Cam and Landon are. I'm more worried about Cam than Landon. I think Landon's going to be okay. I have a problem with Cam. Cam doesn't look the same. I see him. How many people see him stretching his back almost after every series? And he gets up, he's stretching his. I think he's got big problems. I don't think he's healthy. He's getting beat a lot. So, have you seen the edge for Seattle? Yes, he's really good. Yes, I have. By the way, I think the Bucs are going to get beat up there. You got Evans out. You've got, I think Bucky Irvin's not going to practice. He didn't practice today. I think he's going to be out. So you're going to have him, and Baker Mayfield's injured. If I were going to say this to you, don't be shocked if the Bucs get beat. I'm telling you, I think the Bucs get beat this weekend. Totally agree, Sills. Landon will just take time. Juergens is the one that worries me right now. Okay? Yeah, I'm with you, Jim. I think the Eagles beat them up pretty good last week. I mean, Chris Godwin's a little banged up. Emeka Buka's banged up. Christian Wirfs played really well. He did. He played pretty well. He's still banged up, though, a little bit. Hey, I'm going to tell you one more time, guys. Don't go to sleep on this Broncos team. I'm just telling you. You're better than them, and you're going to win this game. Don't let them stay in the game. Seals, who you got tonight? Yankees or Red Sox? Love the history between the two. Well, I'll never root for Boston. I don't give a shit what it is. So, Yankees tonight. And I thought Aaron Boone did a better job. What's his name? Got 2 hits. Aaron Judge got 2 hits last night. You know, he ended up driving some runs in. Runners in scoring position. I thought the Yankees did a better job. I thought the Yankee bullpen was better. I thought their situational base running was better. But I was almost in a position where I was rooting for the Yankees to lose because I'm dying to get rid of Aaron Boone. I can't stand that guy, along with Brian Cashman. I can't stand him. Sills, it's no coincidence that the weakest part of our line is where the 2 smaller guys are next to each other. Landon's not a small guy. I mean, is that what you're saying? So it's no coincidence. The weakest part of our O-line is where the 2 smaller guys are. Are you talking Cam and Landon's not a small dude, man. Cam's a small dude. He's undersized, but that's around the size for a center. 6'2", 6'3", in that room. You don't really want to. Very few guys are ever like Don Mosbar was back in the day, or Bruce Matthews when they were 6'6", 6'5". And, you know, those guys were always just a little bit over, like very high, because you get leverage under those guys. And that's why you see most of the defensive tackles around 6'2", 6'3". Most of the time, you know, Jordan Davis is an anomaly. Having a guy 6'6" like that, you don't really see that. Oh, you're talking Cam, and I don't think Steen's played that poorly, man. I think he's been okay. He's probably been your 3rd best O-lineman. I don't think he's been that bad. Now, he's not Becton. Okay? I mean, he's not. It's Landon getting killed, though. And I don't know, man, but Cam is just not playing very well. Go back and watch the film. Dude, and what I don't get the Eagles and their mentality, and this is when I was talking to Xander about, what I don't get is you're running these zone runs. And teams are now, the linebackers are playing up on the ball. They're not having any lanes, and they're running right into these guys. There's no fucking run lanes. I mean, I don't get, what they're trying to accomplish. Bang, bang, bang. I think, get this. Doesn't it almost look like it's wishful thinking? He's going to break one. He's going to break one. He's going to break one. It just doesn't seem that he's breaking any. Like he had that, what was it, the Chiefs? He had a 13-yard TD run. And I think that kind of whetted the appetite. Was it last week or was it the Rams? I forget. It was a 13-yard run they had, maybe against the Rams or the Bucks. I can't remember. And it was like they keep running him. They keep running him. He got that touchdown, and I'm going, okay, well, but it's almost like that, Yeah, I don't think Steen's been poor. Yeah, if anybody thinks that Steen's played poorly, I don't. Steen's actually played pretty decent football, man. It's almost like they're stubborn to a fault until something. Well, that's the organization's mentality. Hey, I'm not going to say this, but it wouldn't shock me. I mean, dude, I hope they don't need another center. They might want to do something when it comes to getting some depth, if that were me. All right. Hey, folks, my friends at Morgan & Morgan, please do me a favor. This will be the easiest decision you ever make in your life. My good friend, John Morgan, we had a great conversation with John last night. He's excited about the football season. He loves the fact that your birds believe it. When I tell you, he loves the fact your birds are 4-0. Absolutely thrilled to death that Philadelphia is 4-0. He loves Jalen Hurts, and he made the comment, it's absolutely a winning environment, and that's exactly what Morgan & Morgan is, a winning environment. They are number one when it comes to being the number one injury law firm in America for a reason. That is because they win. It'll be the easiest decision you make. Please do me a favor. Check out Morgan & Morgan by going forthepeople.com/big sales or pound law 529. That's forthepeople.com/big sales or pound law 529. And do me a favor. You tell them Big Sales sent you.
This is Eric. When he got injured in a car accident, he called Morgan & Morgan. He not only gets a lawyer, he gets trial lawyers like Sam and Jessica who are in it to win it. He gets his own investigators with briefcases, leather ones. And if you ever have questions, our customer service folks keep things rolling. Injured? We're your army. Morgan & Morgan, America's largest injury law firm.
Ignite your nights with free live entertainment daily, only at Live Casino and Hotel Philadelphia's Center Bar. 7 days a week, enjoy some of the region's top party bands, performers, and DJs as they take the stage in the heart of the casino action. Great cocktails, live music, and lively moments. It's all happening at Center Bar at Live Casino and Hotel Philadelphia. Visit livecasinophilly.com for more details and the complete list of upcoming events. Must be 21 or older. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
This is Eric. When he got injured in a car accident, he called Morgan & Morgan. He not only gets a lawyer, he gets trial lawyers like Sam and Jessica who are in it to win it. He gets his own investigators with briefcases, leather ones. And if you ever have questions, our customer service folks keep things rolling. Injured? We're your army. Morgan & Morgan, America's largest injury law firm.
Welcome to the Jet Setters and the High Rollers, to the Shot Takers and the Tastemakers. Welcome to the Viewfinders, the Thrill Seekers, and the Night Owls. Welcome to everything you could possibly want on one 5-mile island. Welcome to the Wildwoods. Book your stay today.
In our hometown, we all look out for each other. We go the extra mile to lend a helping hand. We step up to keep our communities going strong. And at Independence Blue Cross, we're here to keep you going strong. We've been deeply rooted in our communities for more than 85 years. And that connection to members has earned us our spot as the #1 health insurer in the region. So while you look out for your neighbors, know IBX is always looking out for you.
Your gut says Miami is going to win, and you should take the over. Your gut also said your NFT selfies would only go up in value. They didn't. But your head is on Sports Grid and knows the QB is in concussion protocol. The backup has a 45 QBR against the zone coverage. The New York D has the most sacks in the league. So yeah, trust your head. It's smarter to be on Sports Grid.
EAGLES. Eagles.
I got the Rams winning tonight. I got the Rams at SoFi, or as I like to call it, SoHi. I got the Rams tonight. I think San Francisco, man, they just looked old. And then no pass rush without Bosa. I think the Rams are right there with the Eagles as the best team in the NFC. I got them winning this ball game. I don't know, 30-17. I think that defensive front, the Rams might have the best defensive front in pro football this year. I mean, they did a wonderful job against the Eagles in their run game. So I'm going to go 30-17 tonight. I think this game's going to – now it's a divisional game. How about this? I go 30-21. I'll take the Rams in this ball game. By the way, Mark Schlereth, Stank, from Fox Sports will be with us tomorrow. We will have Mike North with us tomorrow as well. Power Pack Show. And then don't forget, we're giving you future programming notes. Doug Peterson, 3:30 on Tuesday, will join the program. We're looking forward to talking to the Super Bowl winning head football coach with the Philadelphia Eagles. Xander, Big Joe, thank you. 2 to 6 tomorrow. Please hit that like button, folks, and we'll see you on the flip side.